And then we're live! Hello, welcome back to the INVICTUS stream! My name is always Mr. Wildling Guthrie, and I am here with my wild friend Alex.
Yes, me!
My abiding friend Chris.
I'll put up with Alex for now.
My wise friend Michael.
Well, that would be a prudent description.
Ooh. And my cheery friend Justin.
Yahoo!
All right, and we are back with Deadlands Game 1, Part 6! Woohoo! We are so excited to be here this Wednesday night, guys. We have been aching for this to reappear on our Wednesday night schedule. We had the 5-week break. We had last week, which sort of just, tasted, you kind of tasted, and now we're into the steak. We want to eat the meat. We want to get into the real fun and all the cool stuff that we're going into. So thank you guys so much for being with us here tonight on the INVICTUS stream. As always, this is an 18-plus show. People who have watched our show know that we don't like to, make you sign in to have to, mark it as inappropriate material. Nah, we're just going to give you that warning, 18-plus show. So you got to make sure that you are mature enough to watch and to make sure that everything is going good. We like to say swear words, as Alex. So there you go, Alex. Put it up for us right there.
There you go.
So you want to make sure that if you're not comfortable with swear words, that you go ahead and you don't watch the stream. But before you leave, make sure you subscribe and like us on YouTube, this video. In fact, go through all the videos and just like them all. Because it's a lot easier to get these videos out there when people like them for some reason. I don't know why, but when people like stuff, it spreads like wildfire. So, wildflower. That's right.
Wildflower.
Yeah, like a wild flower. Not fire, because we're in the desert. It's the flowers that spread here. But thank you so much, guys, for being here.
You're welcome.
Like it on YouTube, like I said. If you're a Twitter person, go ahead and follow us on Twitter. We're at INVICTUS Stream. That's where you can tweet us a lot of cool ideas and make us feel really fun and hip by following us. And most importantly, if you're a Facebook person, if you're into Facebook, the kids nowadays with a Facebook, you go ahead and you Facebook search the INVICTUS Stream. You're going to find the page, and you're going to find the group. You go ahead and like the page and you join the group, because the group is where all the cool people hang out. It's where these 4 nerds hang out on a weekly basis. It's where you guys hang out. And this week we've had a blast playing little mini games. We started a few. One was a sort of 2 truths and a lie, which was hilarious. Some great and revealing stuff in there. We did a 2-word sort of game where one person would say, fresh bread, and the next would be bread pudding, and then pudding cake. Pudding cake? I don't know. But whatever, pudding cup.
Pudding cake.
Kind of keeps alternating as long as it's 2 words. That's still going strong, and there was another game we were playing. Either way, tons of stuff going on in the group this week. Fantastic stuff. Thank you guys all for hanging out and playing along. It's a lot of fun to see those games running, and it's a good diversion from work, to be honest. But the other thing that happens on the Facebook group, besides the games and kind of the fun, is the sense of community. Having a place where you can share your role-playing ideas or story ideas and all those kind of really cool stuff, or just, ideas in general. They can be your own personal work and life experience ideas. We've seen a lot of interesting stuff going on the stream, or on the Facebook group, I should say. And part of the reason that people share, I think, is for the MVP. That is the most valuable post. The most valuable post is the post of the week that we kind of single out amongst all the other great posts and reward a little bit of extra XP to as a way to say thank you for promoting a bit of the community within the community, as well as starting a bit of conversation. And this week is a long time. What's that?
Post with the most.
The post with the most. And this week is a longtime fan of the stream. I believe he has the distinction of being one of the only 2 members of our group that's watched all of our games. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that we did a poll a while back and asked who's seen the most games. And only Bob Lyle and this person, I believe, I could be wrong, we're the only 2 people that saw every single game, and that person is Mr. Mike Kyle, for not just one post this week, but he actually had a series of really great posts for one-shot RPGs at drive-thru RPGs that he was sending that were on sale, and he was kind of recommending them and kind of giving a little bit of write-up. So excellent job, Mike. Thank you so much for doing that. Really cool stuff. Gave us a few ideas. You won MVP this week. You earned it, buddy. The other thing we do on a weekly basis, of course, especially during the Deadlands campaign, is the NPC game. And for that, I'm going to throw it to Mr. Chris Viseau so that he can give us a rundown of who won this week. Chris, take it away, buddy boy.
So early on in the week, I had some questions right away about what is expected for the NBC poll that we do every week. Wow. So I'm just going to go over again. We could. We did it this year, maybe next.
Yeah.
The only thing we need, again, is quirky things about the NPC. We don't need stats. You can put as much detail as little as you want. I want to know who this person is as short and as brief as we can so we can use it in other stories. So I think Chris Long's character really embodied what we were looking for, and that's why I think he is the NPC of the week. He created Bob, which I'm just going to read it because it's nice and short and concise. Huge orange skin, hairless, and with huge tusks, suffers chronic insomnia and can't remember its home planet, or generally what it does. Super overly friendly, but scares himself when he suddenly finds out that he actually has skills. So I think that's pretty awesome, and I think that's why he's going to win. So again, the post this week was for space-related, so that's why we had tusks and everything. So well done.
I was going to say, where the alien from, but well done, Chris. Fantastic job. Well done, Chris, for winning, and well done, Chris, for reading it so clearly and crisply. Well done, buddy.
That's why I picked him.
I do want to do a quick shout-out to another longtime fan. Mr. Hunter Olson had a birthday on Sunday, so happy birthday, Hunter. Hunter's always shared on the stream. Sometimes interesting things, sometimes fun stuff, sometimes weird stuff, but that's why we love him. Happy birthday, Hunter. Well done at being alive. I also want to remind people that the mid-game post is going to be coming up halfway through, but as we discussed last week, it might not be the mid-game. Could be like, end mid-game post, so whatever you got to do to watch the stream to make sure you don't miss it, do that. And finally, the summer trials, we still have the final game upcoming with the winners round, so to speak. Miss Victoria Lane, Chris Lawrence, I'm doing this from memory, I shouldn't have, Kenneth, I believe, and the last person eludes me. Shit. I have it written down, so I apologize, Mr. Last Person or Mrs. Last Person. Oh, Aisha. Mrs. See, I got it. Aisha is the last person. So you guys, we still have a summer trial game coming up, but there's a few things lining up before I get you guys together to compete in that final game.
Drink.
And you'll be excited. Was that a cat? I thought that was a kid. I was going to say, that sounds like a cat. Ow! Take a drink. You know the rules. Drink when a cat's on screen. Anyway, that's enough out of this gab. I'm going to throw it to my main man, Mr. Justin Thomas. Alex. It's Alex this week, isn't it? We're going to throw it to Mr. Alex Guthrie.
I get to talk.
I'm going to throw it for the synopsis. Take it away, Alex.
Last time on Deadlands, the deputies did not manage to track down either the missing sheriff or his mysterious liberator. Maybe they could have, if it hadn't been for the untimely death of Father Barrow, murdered mercilessly in his own chapel by some unknown barefoot attacker. With his final breath, the dying priest uttered one last word into Buddy's ear. Oakland. Father Oakland. That's who they needed to find. So, Louie, Buddy, and Lacey stayed in Holton to ask as many people as possible of the whereabouts of the priest. It wasn't long before they pinned down his location to Cheyenne. During their investigation, they also discovered that nothing of the bartender Charles had been seen all night, except for his boots, which were still sitting in plain sight behind the bar. With his boots still at the bee in the barrel, if he had been running around or outside last night, he would have been doing it barefoot. Meanwhile, Carver interviewed Old Man Holton about the missing sheriff and Father Oakland. While the man knew nothing of those matters, he did inform the deputy that even more of his bees had been stolen the night prior. Carver took the matter into his own hands, and with Mr. Holden riding passenger on his faithful mare Asta La Vista, he located some footprints and tracked them far to the west and into the base of a bright red canyon. He saw a young man dragging something heavy behind him, and when Carver confronted him, gun drawn, the man sleepily looked at him and kept walking. It was then that Carver noticed the walls of the canyon moving. No, it wasn't that they were moving. They were covered in something that was moving. Ticks. Large, red, and fast ticks that were swarming on him. Asta and Mr. Holden at an alarming rate. Narrowly, everyone escaped with their lives, but Carver charged back to town at a burning clip to warn the people and prepare the town in case the ticks made their way to Holton. Written by Justin James.
Colorful.
Thank you.
Well, there you're staring Carver and the Bee in the Barrel talking to Holton. And Lewis, or Lacy, and Lewis, you guys are in the mine where Lacy has just shot a tick that was on his shoulder, splattering you guys in this red ooze.
What the hell was that? What'd you just shoot for? Lacy?
I didn't shoot nothing.
Did you not just shoot a tick off your shoulder?
I did, but I mean, like, I know it wasn't somebody. It was.
Well, listen, Lacy. I don't know how safe it is to be shooting guns down here. You could set off an avalanche or something. Collapse, a cave-in, who knows?
Well, it was climbing on my shoulder, so I had to get it off.
And I quickly look around, knowing that there are these ticks around, and I look to see if there are any more.
You can't see any... No, it doesn't seem like there's any around.
Just the one, eh?
Mm-hmm.
How big was it, Lacy?
It was like the size of my... how big was it? I don't know. How big was it? It's dark in here. How big was it?
It was a large tick as far as the ticks that you've seen. You think it was... You've seen prairie ticks before, so it's definitely a prairie tick, but a large one at that.
Was it like the size of my fist?
Yeah, no, it's smaller than that. Probably the size of like. Have you guys ever seen Hercules beetles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
like
like
that big.
She.
It was like that big.
Like the size of a Hercules beetle?
Exactly. That's exactly the description I was thinking in my mind.
All
Henry
right.
O'Toole walks over and
All
goes,
right,
yeah.
Lacy, stop your belly aching. It was just a bug. It's gone now. Let's move
Those-
on.
Those ticks have been moving in here for a while now. We've been trying to exterminate them as best we can. They kind of bother the workers as they're trying to get on with mining. Henry O'Toole knows what you're talking about. Definitely seen these ticks before.
Well, it doesn't make any sense why they're here. Why do they keep here? Why are they here?
Your guess is as good as mine. You'd have to ask Holton for that kind of information.
Holden. The bug guy? The bee guy?
Yeah, that's right. He, if you haven't met him before, he just lives a little bit north of here. You know, he's the one responsible for the bee roaches, and he knows a lot about insects and that kind of thing. I know mining, and well, there it is. There is the pillar I told you about. Is there anything else you need to see in the mine, or are you going to go and find where the rest of my workers are?
That's why we're here. I forgot. What do you guys make of this pillar? There's three of us, right?
What do you
That's right.
think, Lewis?
Okay. What?
He's gone.
Oh my God, Lewis is doing a Wiseman.
Well, it could be. I just saw him run out here because he had a little bit of guts on his shirt, and you know how he gets.
Oh, yes.
He needed to change his shirt immediately. Carver
Exactly.
would know this from the other side of the town.
So Carver, we're gonna go to you now. You're in the Bee in the Barrel.
Oh yeah.
Good move.
And it's empty. It's empty, which is the first time you've seen this place empty. Doesn't matter what time of day, ever. No
And I'm with
trolls.
Halton.
That's right.
All right. So I pull out my gun. Halton, give me a hand on me for a second, and I walk in. Hello. Anybody here? And I kind of look over the bar a bit.
No one. You expect to see trolls there, but again, he's been missing. He's not there.
All right. So I reach over and I grab his piece from behind the bar. All right.
That's right.
Now listen, Halton, I'm pretty nervous here for a second. Take one of these. Nah, I'll hold on to both, actually. Never mind. I say, where the hell could they have been? They wouldn't be so stupid as to go. And now I saw the barefooted man walking around town, right?
Yeah, but then again, you also knew that he was going to go, when you guys split up, I'm pretty sure you know who you're going to talk to at the different parts.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking is I want to take a look around the bar like Lacy did and see if I can't see those shoes.
Well, sure enough, if you're looking around the bar, soon enough you would find those shoes.
Which I would do for a short time. And I turn to Halt and I say, what do you make of all this?
What? What do you mean make of all this?
Well, you don't find it suspicious that this bar is completely... Well, you've never been in this bar, have you? Never mind.
Well, I've been in this bar, especially during harvest time when I bring over the mead for them. Not often, though. I don't frequent the bar.
Like I said right before we got in here, last few seconds ago, I should say, I do think that these ticks might be the weaponized ticks that Holstrom was talking to you about in the war. That ring any bells?
Sure does, Carver, and if that's the case, we're in a lot of trouble. Now, during the war, they never finished, and it was always... We'd lost specimen after specimen, and a lot of time, a lot of failures. A lot of creatures died needlessly.
I remember you saying, so he could be testing them on this town still, in some capacity or other. But what I want to make sure...
Hellstrom's got bigger fish to fry than our little town here.
Well, then it's possible that they just got loose. But either way, going off the assumption for a second that these are the same ticks that he was asking you to weaponize, did you ever develop a sort of countermeasure?
And he thinks about his knowledge he's got a lot of knowledge about bugs, and he says, the hardest thing to worry about is the swarms.
And as he's doing this, I'm looking around for Henry, and then I'm pouring us a drink from behind the bar. Or Charles.
He says,
swarms, eh?
One tick is no problem, but when they mass in the numbers we saw, you can't shoot at a tick. It's not gonna do much. They're gonna be hard pressed to kill a swarm like that. I don't think you should kill them, Carver. It's not right. They don't mean nothing by it.
Now, I understand that, Holden, but if these ticks are hurting people, and I hate to break it to you, but Asa's got a few wounds that would say that they are trying to hurt people.
Carver, you gotta understand, these creatures were tortured when they were trying to be spliced and experimented on. I don't think it's fair for us to just assume that they're evil.
I'm not. Evil's never a word in my vocabulary when it comes to an animal, especially of this nature. I think they're acting on instinct, and I think something might be pushing them towards instinct of hurting people. But at the same time, a force of nature is still a force of nature and needs to be dealt with appropriately. That means if we can figure out a way to save them and without harming them, then I'm all for it. However, should the need arise to stop them through force alone, as much as I don't like it, I'm asking you if there's a way.
Well,
is there a way that you wrote
I
this
suppose
could be retooled to attack the ticks?
Well, they came and they took a roach nest, and for that reason I'll support you and find ways to attack, but I mean, my bee roaches, I wouldn't want to mess with their genetics or anything like that to try to fix them, and they're not made for that. They're made for making meat.
Yeah. I don't know, Halton, I'm just worried a bit. You saw the number of those ticks, and you saw how fast they swarm. Should that, for whatever reason, should that swarm decide to come down to town like Hellstrom originally wanted them to be weaponized, again, maybe not here, maybe by the Shoshone, who knows?
Remember when I said he wanted to weaponize them, it was a matter of mind control. They were looking for ways to take the other side of the Civil War's army and use it against them. We had the Greycoats, and we figured if we could get Greycoats to kill the Greycoats, we'd be set for the war.
Yeah, and I think, was I a Greycoat too? Which was the good one again? That's the one I was.
We'll leave it at that, because I think it's a matter of opinion for half our viewers.
Fair enough. Well, put it this way, Halton, I understand. I got more questions for you, but clearly my friends aren't here, and as much as I hate it to think that they'd head on without me, I gotta say they might be heading to those mines, so we better head on there too.
Yeah, I reckon you're right. I'm worried.
I had a few drinks in me, so I'm really going into the southern accent this time, if you notice the difference. But
yeah. In real life or in this? I like the idea that Carver's accent gets thicker the drunker he gets, even though it's the same accent of everyone around us. It's like all of a sudden I start going, "Ootin' a bootin', hey, what was her?"
Well, when we're drunk,
Hey
we
there,
do
there.
that. So.
That's right.
All right, so we'll saddle up, and I'll take my now 2 pistols out, and I'll start heading towards the mine.
Well, Lewis, before you left, because your shirt was covered in this film of red goo from the roach, because you had to leave to go clean it. That's where you left for a moment there. Buddy was asking you what you make of all this, why the roaches are here, and that kind of thing.
You're asking me? Buddy?
Yeah, Lewis. You know how to read some of this stuff, don't you?
Do you have something to read, or are you just asking in general where the bee roaches are?
Frickin' stone in front of you, Lewis. Take a look.
Oh, the
Use
pillar.
it.
The pillar.
Focusing on the frickin' ticks and how dirty your shirt is. Just frickin' read the stone.
I'm just
Hey,
a little
Marshal.
distracted, all right?
Remember
Marshal?
last time you read it, it was something of a warning, and you saw markings of creatures, but that's it. You couldn't get what the warning was, but you knew it was warning you.
We gonna
Question
dig around
for you.
these rocks right here, buddy? We gonna dig around these rocks while ticks might be crawling on us? I don't think so.
Both you and Lacey with your belly aching.
Question. I gotta jump in here.
Yeah, Lacey, what's up?
Let's describe what this pillar looks like to us. It's half in the ground, right?
Well, it's half in the wall more than anything. You see
Okay.
3 stones, and it's roughly 4 feet high, what you see, and it appears to have at the very top a slight curvature going into the wall, and that's all you see. So you see the outline, not fully, the stones aren't fully realized from the wall.
Right.
They're still half in the wall, and you see that it's starting to curve at the top.
Okay.
And again, you have this writing, this ancient writing. The stones are made of different material than everything around you. It's a very hard, dark rock that you're seeing.
Do we recognize it to be like ghost rock?
It's not ghost rock.
Okay.
Though you do see deposits in the walls around you, little veins of ghost rock.
Oh.
And it seems like there's...
Interesting.
And as you're looking at it and you're noticing the ghost rock, you see Henry. He says, "Yeah, it's very strange. Every time we come near any of these artifacts, it seems we find deposits of ghost rock. So it's really unnerving, and it really gets in the way of our mining."
Hold on. You find deposits of ghost rock that you've, even after you've mined this area clean of ghost rock?
Well, let me clarify here. There's still ghost rock in this mine. It's not, but whenever we come to a artifact from the Shoshone, as we believe it to be, there's always seems to be a concentration of ghost rock.
Oh, okay.
So if we come across an artifact, we know we're going to be lucky for the day.
I see. But it's not like it grows back or something. So I was wondering.
No, that'd be absurd.
Well, I don't know. Do I look like a miner to you?
What
No,
I want
sir,
to know,
you don't. You look far too fancy.
Henry.
That's
So
it.
what I want to know is when your miners discovered this, what had they come to you and say anything?
Well, they first panic like they do, the superstitious folk. They believe, there's a curse on this mine, and the Shoshone. Well, originally they didn't want us here mining. We believe for spiritual reasons. We don't know really. So they usually escape, and then I have to go in and try to convince some of the old timers to mine it out, and we usually bring the artifacts out and destroy them.
Now, you never thought to give that a listen? My experience is the Shoshone are a noble people.
What? I don't know about that, buddy. I mean, they definitely have their ways, and they've never done wrong by me as of late, but I know they gave us some hell of a time trying to get into these mines.
And you don't
Remember
blame them? I mean, come on, if they moved in and started digging holes in your basement, it wouldn't piss you off a little?
It wasn't even like they were using the land. It's almost like they would send scouts out here and kill people who are trying to mine for
How
some
often
reason.
do you use your cold cellar?
Well, buddy, I don't get your train of thought here. This is not a Shoshone cold cellar. They weren't even using the land. Honestly, their encampments were far away, and they would send, braves out here to kill us for no reason. As we were trying to mine, they would come out here and stop us.
Well, it sounds like a reason. I don't know what the reason might be, but
I don't know what
Did
their
you
reason.
ever think to talk to them and ask?
I don't speak Shoshone. Buddy, do you speak Shoshone?
No, but I believe Cole did. Back in the day, we had a little run-in with them.
Well, Cole's a good man, and he usually reasons pretty well with the Shoshone, but I'm a working man. I'm a miner, and I need to mine. And if they get in the way of that, they get in the way of my livelihood. You understand? They got lots of men underneath me, buddy. I can't just let them not work because some Shoshone try to stop us from mining for no reason that I can see. Sure, there's some artifacts here, probably from ancient times long ago, but it's not like they were using them. They were buried beneath the earth.
You don't think they're Shoshone? I don't. Sorry, go ahead, Jess.
Well, no. What were you gonna say, Lacey? You've been quiet, unusually quiet.
I was just.
A little too quiet.
I was just gonna ask where there was a box found with it, right?
Yeah, it's the one we were looking at in the tent. Remember?
That's right. Now, what happened to that box? And,
Well-
and does that have something to do with maybe the people leaving?
Well, that was I don't know. When did you take that box?
Sorry.
Out of,
How
the
deep
cave?
in the mine are they? Is this like something I'd have to walk down a bunch of
Yeah,
shafts?
it'd be a little bit
Okay.
tough 'cause they did weave into the mine, but you could get to
Actually-
the outside one.
That's a good point, actually. I just thought of something. Have we got anybody here we can send for a runner? I think we got a man waiting at the bar for us.
And then you
He's supposed to
hear,
be-
hello, am I still part of this here deputizing?
Why is that our faithful leader?
I say, I've been drinking.
Okay, last time though, you did look at the box, Lewis, and you were able to read rats.
Yeah, there's
Or
a
rat,
inside
rat.
the box, right? Box.
Well, you don't know. It just says rat. You don't know what it means.
Rat.
Right.
Like a rat?
Well, if that's the noise rats make.
Oh,
and I think it's
a rat
squeak.
is in
That
like
shark bite.
That's right.
Mighty teeth, dear.
Rat the knife.
Rat the knife.
All right.
Well,
so I'm
you do
gonna,
hear an Carver. You know, you're yelling in, and an old timer walks over, barely lifting a like a 4-pound pickaxe, and he looks at you. Well, you're one of those deputies, aren't you, there, sir?
And I say, yeah, we are. You happen to know where those men talking very loudly might be?
Well, I believe I saw Henry O'Toole taking them down the shaft not too long. I believe he was going to those artifacts back there.
Question.
You're the definition of an old timer, ain't you? What's your name?
Well, they call me William.
William what?
William Rothford.
William? You know, William, I met a lot of people in this here town since I got here just a few days ago, and I got to say something. So far, you are by far my favorite person.
Well, I appreciate that, Carver.
William
I was
Rothford.
quite kind of
Hold
the
on.
coal.
And I reach into my pocket and I give him a whatever measly change I have, and I give it to him. I say, you go to the bar, you buy yourself a drink and me one, and I'm going to meet you there, and we're going to drink together. All right?
Hot damn, sir! Oh my
That's right.
goodness!
You earned that shit.
And he drops the handle of the pickaxe, and he starts walking away as
Then I pick up
quickly
the-
as he is physically able.
And I pick up the pickaxe and I head to where these guys are going.
All right, he didn't give you directions.
Well, I can hear them. They're pretty damn loud.
Okay,
feel like
luckily
I
the echoes, and eventually, let's hit Carver. I want you to do let's think here. What do you got for intelligence-wise?
Oh, come on. Make me roll anything but intelligence.
Well, what else you got? Notice?
Spirit, agility, persuasion, lockpicking, stealth, fighting, riding. Yeah, no way. I don't got nothing.
Yeah,
Fighting,
intelligence,
writing.
please.
Oh, can I use Halton's intelligence?
In what way? Oh, yeah, that'd be good for sure.
Tell him to find it. He's with me.
Holton looks at you and goes, "Ooh." Let me get the voice here. Well, I think if we look just over here, we'll be able to find a map of the mine so far, and then we'll be able to follow our way down.
All right, well. Take
So he
on.
makes a quick note. He grabs a map or a piece of paper and he writes down. And soon enough, you guys make your way down, Carver, and you
And
find.
I still got the pickaxe, yeah?
Yeah.
Perfect. Hey, boys! So I went to the bar. Funny story. None of you were there. Why?
Yeah. That's right, because there was nobody there for us either.
No,
So-
I get it.
Investigations led us to the mine, and we thought that while you were away, you were taking a bit longer than expected.
Well, can I tell you why? Because when I got to Halton's place, one of his bee roach farms was taken. We got on about an hour horseback out to the west.
Before you finish, just be careful because there are some ticks around.
Well-
there was some type of big tick that Lacy just shot. You might have heard the gunshot.
No, but I get the tick angle because let me tell you, we were riding. This is important, guys. We were riding out east. Was it east or west?
West.
It
You
was
must be
north.
going west.
Down.
No,
Damn.
it was northwest.
From Halton's.
From Halton's, it was still pretty north. Yeah,
That's
still
what I thought.
northwest.
Still, northwest. All right. We were heading about an hour northwest on horseback on Asta. We came across some caverns, and let me tell you, saw this young kid dressed in relatively townsfolk clothes, walking, dragging something behind him. It looked like some sort of animal. So I get off and I holler at him. I should have got a warning shot across his bow because I thought maybe he wouldn't have heard me.
What did you
He
do?
didn't even stir. He looks at me. He keeps on going. Sure enough, seconds later, ticks. Massive, biggest ticks you ever seen. Like you're talking about, Lewis, come pouring down the sides of the canyon. We barely got out there alive.
And this fella went right in?
You went in. Now, remember what we were talking about earlier this morning where all the young'uns, Mr. O'Toole, you said all the young, able-bodied men were gone from the mines, correct?
Well, a good number of them, that's for sure, Carver.
How
Enough
well
that it's-
them? Yeah. How well you know them? If I was to describe one, you give me a rough. If you knew them.
Yeah, I reckon I like to know my men who work for me. You know what I mean, Carver?
All right. So using Halton's and my experience, like explaining the man,
Describing the man you're talking about.
Yeah.
It seems to be one of the men that he had working for him. Yeah.
All right. So there you go. Something's going on because it seems like the men from the mines have up and gone overnight. They got these ticks for some reason that are doing more than I think meets the eye.
Wow, Mr. O'Toole, it sounds like people have been leaving your mine to go work on another person's mine.
Yeah. Do you think that someone's controlling these ticks?
Controlling ticks, Lewis, is that a little far-fetched? I mean, come on.
All right, Henry, we're well
Well,
past the time of
what's that,
far-fetched. Have you seen any of the shit going on in this town? Let's put the far-fetched to the side for the next year.
You know
all
what?
right?
Henry, maybe we could just maybe you could step aside for a minute. The three of us just talk here. What do you?
I got lots of work I can do, gentlemen. If you don't need me any further, I'd be happy to go.
Well, we're trying to figure something out here, but we need to put our heads together for a minute. You need to give the deputies just a second here, if you don't mind, Mr.
I don't mind. I'll be just outside the mine.
Thank you, Marshal. Carver, buddy,
Ain't a Marshal.
Lewis.
Marshal? You can make this guy a Marshal all of a sudden?
I meant thank you, Marshal, for making that happen. Thank you, Henry.
Thank you, Marshal.
He ain't shit. All right.
Who has any idea what fuck is going on here?
Well, I think I can answer that, Lacey. Me and Carver believe that these are the...
Was I talking to you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Lacey,
He goes
let the man
nervously.
speak.
Sits
Didn't
beside the
realize he
wall.
was here.
Lacey, just call me when you need me.
Nope. Speak up. It's actually, you know what? Let the other deputies chime in here. Deputies, should we let him speak?
Absolutely, Lacey. If there's a man that knows about bugs, it's this man.
Jesus Christ,
All right,
Lacey.
there
Let the
you
man
go.
speak. We already
Proceed.
been over this shit. We're wasting time.
Proceed. Please proceed.
So he walks over and kind of positions
Very
himself towards where Buddy and Carver are standing and away from Lacey. And he continues. He goes, well, I was going to say, we think that is something to do with the weaponized insects from the Civil War times that somehow has made its way here, even though they would have been really far northeast up in Salt Lake City.
So my question that I asked earlier kind of was, with these ticks, like, do you think that they could have, got loose and just kind of reproduced on their own, or do you think that there's someone actually controlling them and breeding them themselves and trying to build an army of young individuals?
Salt Lake City, you say? Where
Yeah,
are those angel fellas from?
they're all the way in California. So not.
And
not
what
in the
about
same-
that wandering guy, Oakland?
Oakland? I don't know who Oakland is.
Not to be rude, buddy, but you just totally interrupted me.
Yeah, yeah, I did, Lewis.
And then you just jumped right in. I don't know, maybe you didn't hear me, but that was rude. And my grandma would not have any of that. All right?
My apologies, Lewis.
Sorry, what were you saying, Lewis?
Do you think that there's actually someone controlling them? You said that there were people that could control these ticks. Or do you think that it's just, Mother Nature, breeding these things,
Our experiments were failures, Lewis. Complete failures. There was no success that we had in weaponizing insects in order to control people. Now, we were giving them the instinct, the hive instinct, but we weren't, in a sense, going to control them. We were kind of creating instincts for them to be controlled by those instincts. So if they had the fight instinct, they would kill anything around them, including their own men. So we would just put these insects into the camp of the Greycoats, for example, and they would kill each other.
I see.
Maybe they're the Greycoats.
Now, you guys know that the Civil War is something that's past. It's no longer an issue. There's the occasional butting heads between the Bluecoats and the Greycoats, but it's no longer. It's been so long, right? It's been almost 10 years now.
How would one teach the ticks to differentiate between the Greycoats and the Bluecoats? How would they know?
They really wouldn't. There was no way. It was just an instinct of fight or flight and extreme fight.
So it was really just making the ticks violent and putting them in whatever camp you wanted to have them attack.
No, it was more than that. They would take over the hosts and use the bodies of the Greycoats and the men to kill one another.
And what kind of results when these ticks took over the bodies? What kind of results did the body look like?
The problem, well, I mean, the few successes we had, and this was very few, was the issue that we couldn't have them reproduce. We had them create one or two ticks, but never a queen hive mind sort of creation that could control them and reproduce. So although we would have success with one candidate or two, it was not enough to sway the war. When they did get to full growth, as they did not just bite, there was some really rather nasty reactions, growths and warts and different pustules growing on the bodies.
The actual people, though, how they act, like zombies type thing?
They lost all higher function.
Right, okay.
Like
So I'm gonna go on a limb and say the sheriff might have been infected by a tick, which makes a lot of sense to me.
Well, yeah, Lacy, higher intelligence, was that what you were wondering about just now, Lacy?
Yeah.
Like, what did
What do
you mean?
Higher intelligence.
Like they didn't have their intelligence anymore? What did you mean by that? Higher function.
Lacy or myself?
Oh, to
Holden. Well, we all are animals. We agree? And animals have a few things that they need to do, and that's sex, eat, and sleep. Reproduce. Well, if you take away humans' ability to think aside from those things, you can reduce it down. And if we reduced it down to sex and eating, it could be a weapon, especially if you took away the flight mechanic and just had the fight mechanic. So you understand, they're not thinking like humans anymore. They're thinking like deranged animals.
Oh, that's definitely what the sheriff had then.
But then why didn't this man attack Carver? You said that you fired a warning shot, right, Carver?
Well, I don't necessarily think he saw me as a threat. I did fire pretty clear past him.
Well, what we were trying to create was never successful, gentlemen. I don't think I had any part in this.
I think it was successful, Holden. I think that's what we're dealing with right now. Not to say you did, but someone continued on your work. Who could have, beside Hellstrom himself?
Maybe it was Hellstrom himself.
There were men from all over the country, and I'm sure I could get you a list from what I remember, but none of us were successful. It would take a genius to be able to do this.
All right, well, speculate for a second. You know any other geniuses besides yourself in this area?
And he doesn't know. He racks his brain. And he talks about rumor and speculation that there's a scientist who's who's been able to find some secrets with the ghost stone and engineering the species, but again, they're just rumors.
I can't imagine you, Halton, a man of science, a man of progress in biology and all this, wouldn't be the least bit interested in finding out who this scientist is.
You also know that he's a recluse, and he's looking really uncomfortable being away from his home.
Yeah, you might be a recluse, Halton. Put it this way. Let's say a man in your position who wasn't such a recluse decided to go out wandering to find this scientist. How would you go about it? You must have some sort of contacts from your college and university days.
I could look into it for you, Carver, if it means that we're going to get back the roaches, the bee roaches.
I want to make it clear here, because this is the most important thing going forward. If someone has weaponized these ticks to the point where they can control them, or the ticks are just militant for whatever reason, and they're attacking and driving themselves into young boys and turning them into weapons, it's a lot safer to end those ticks than end those boys' lives. And Halton, I know that you are a lover of all insects, as am I, and we would do anything on our power, but is there a way, can you think of a weapon, a gas that would only affect ticks and save the hosts, should this come to that?
I reckon that they're very similar to prairie ticks, and that if you get a prairie tick, it gestates inside the bellies of its host, and then eventually it grows to a size that explodes out of the chest with mucousy blood, and it goes into really gory detail about everything.
Come
like
on,
over
man.
the top.
Can you just dull it down a little? You have to
They
have
were
some colorful.
well,
And I look at Lewis and I say, Lewis, you got a little bit of tick juice behind your ear right
I do
there.
not. I cleaned it all off.
I don't know, man. I'm saying, did you clean it in this mine water? You might have missed a little bit right here.
Man, damn it, Carver.
Well, this sounds like... I'm sorry, boys, but you know what? Something's bothering me. First of all,
you're interrupting me, Lacy. You're interrupting me. I was going to say hot castor oil.
We're halfway through. We don't even know the ending.
Half castor oil poured down the throat of the infected should kill the creature, but it has to be done with hot castor oil. That's right.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Now, as far as a gas, I mean, they're vulnerable to any poison just like any other creature would be, but that poison would still kill the host.
Mm.
So you're saying there's no other way than to put them both down?
No, if we got a hold of a young man who's been infected, we could pour hot castor oil down their throats and hopefully save them.
I'm sorry, Holden, I trust you, but I refuse to believe that that's the only way. Killing it with hot oil seems... There's got to be a way to kill a tick without infecting the human. There's got to be biology different that they would...
Perhaps if you got me a specimen, I could research, and especially with Elam's help. With Elam's help, we could maybe derive something that would help you guys in this endeavor.
All right. Now that's something I can get on board with.
Now, you mentioned something about a queen, right? That you were trying to make a queen so that these things could breed.
That's right, and we were never successful.
Do you think that someone was successful in creating a queen? And if we kill that queen, then we're going to be killing the source?
The evidence is there. There are so many ticks. It's only reasonable to believe there's some queen hatching them.
Now, you see, the way that falls down, life finds a way.
Chaos. It's just chaos. It's chaos, you know?
You know what?
And she got out of the car, and now I'm sitting alone and I'm
talking myself.
Okay, there's a couple ideas here. First of all, Carver, when you were in the cave there, all right, you say you saw a cave full of ticks, right?
No, it was a cavern. It was not a cavern. It was a fucking canyon. Thank you.
But then you saw one man, right? Just one man.
Yeah.
All right. So what if we captured this man? You know, big old lasso around him, pull him out, and then just flamethrow the whole canyon. You know, burn all them ticks.
Look, you're missing the point, Lacey. This ain't about the individual ticks. It's about who's controlling them and what they want. Look,
well, but we could start by...
No, listen, we got... No, it's not a start. That's the end. Look, here's what we got, boys, and this is... I'm going to spell it out real clear. That sheriff was infected by a tick, okay? That sheriff then escaped and killed Father Barrow. Now, whoever was controlling that tick wanted him to kill a very specific man. He wasn't walking through town snatching people out of their houses. He walked to one place in town, he killed that man, and then he left. Now that man, with his dying breath, said one word to us, and that was Oakland, Father Oakland. Now come on, guys, it don't take a genius to line this up here. Whatever's controlling these ticks made a very specific goal to make that man kill that man who gave us one lead, and we need to follow that.
So what you're saying is...
So we need to get out of this frickin' mine, get on our horses, and go.
Go see
once,
Oakland,
buddy, you and I
Cheyenne?
are on the same page. Yeah, we got to speak to Father Oakland. He's the only lead we have right now. In the meantime,
right.
we need to figure out a contingency, Lacy, and contingency means a backup plan. That means if we totally clusterfuck this shit, we need something to make sure that every goddamn person with a tick inside them doesn't die a horrible, painful death. That means capturing a tick specimen, bringing it to Elam and Halton, and seeing if they can't figure out a way to save all the people of this town that we so clusterfucked.
Well, Holton, didn't you say that the hot castor oil could possibly save the person and keep them alive?
He did, but that's per person boiling oil and pouring it down their gullet. And I'm telling you right now, if these are anything half as lethal as those ticks themselves, these are going to be walking zombies. Look at the sheriff. Imagine trying to hold him down and pouring hot oil down his throat.
It'd be very hard to do since we don't know where he is.
We could drown him in hot oil, and then
Well,
they'd
that
have
would-
to drink it.
That would just kill him, Lacy.
Well, maybe not. They'd
All
have to
right.
drink the hot oil.
You weren't here for this, Carver, but you were already at Holton's. But I went back to the chapel, did some poking around, and I found a schedule. And I know that Father Oakland is scheduled to come back to Holton to give a sermon in less than a week's time.
I don't know if we
How
can
long
wait.
does it take to get to Cheyenne? If it takes a week to get there already, then wouldn't it make sense to wait for him?
The only missing, and I agree, you're right. Oakland is a piece of the puzzle. The only thing we're missing is who barefoot was walking around that got out the sheriff. I couldn't possibly think who that could be. Lacy, any ideas?
Sorry, ask me again. I was drifting.
Who do you think could be walking around barefoot, letting out?
Charles!
How did you know that, Lacy? Shit, how'd you know that?
Well, his shoes are still at the bar, and he didn't show up that night.
All right,
And
perfect.
that's
And
the
what did they
night that-
say? All right, and what did Elam say about Charles? Remember, he said Charles was in contact with the Shoshone, that he was the only one in town that had contact with Shoshone. Ain't that right?
Yeah. Is
All right.
that right? Is that right, boys?
That is right. And I turned to Halton.
All
Halton,
right.
the area we were running up by the canyon, up northwest, what is in that territory?
Very little. I mean, they have been Shoshone up there. If that's what you're getting at, Carver.
To me, that's 3. That means we got enough to follow a lead of Shoshone and Oakland. Now, Charles, fuck that guy's name. Charles was the only person who had contact with Shoshone. And I turned to Halton again. I say, was there anyone else that you might have known that was dealing with the Shoshone?
And it looks at what it says, Cole Ferguson, but he's no good to us now.
Cole Ferguson.
Yeah, Marshal.
The sheriff, Marshal.
Yeah, right. All right. And Oakland's our lead. You said he's coming to town in how many days?
No, wait.
I think it was a week, wasn't it?
It was the following Sunday, so we're on Saturday now.
All right. And this, just out of meta, this poll, did we get anything from the stone?
Aside, what do you mean anything? Any
Any information from it?
Yes, a warning. That's it, and images of creatures.
Do we know what the warning is?
Not because it's still covered. We get a just beware of kind of thing.
Then I pick up the pickaxe that I carry down with me. Does it look like I could reveal more of it?
You could, but it would take some time, for sure.
We do
Well,
have more
maybe
than
we
just...
get O'Toole to work. Sorry, Lewis, jumping in
that's
there
all right.
again.
That's all right. We spoke at the same time. That's fair game.
Don't want to, make your granny unhappy.
Well, nobody.
I say we get O'Toole to get his men down here and see what they can uncover. In the meantime, I don't see why we're still standing around bickering like old ladies inside this mine. We should be out in the sun and following the direction we need to go.
I don't think anybody was bickering. I think I was laying down a whole bunch of information on your ass.
Most importantly, you guys have to hang Stenson. Just hang.
That's
him.
right. Yeah.
Just kidding.
Hit
Poor
him with the shot belly.
Poor Elam still has him tied to a desk somewhere.
Is Henry O'Toole still here, or is he gone now?
He's gone out to the mouth of the mine.
Didn't Henry, and I turn to these guys then, didn't Henry O'Toole say something that this was Shoshone territory and that this cave was their burial grounds?
Yeah, that's exactly. Well, he didn't say burial grounds. He didn't know why the Shoshone would attack.
Well,
He just said it might be sacred to them.
put it this way, stones with markings on them and boxes of goods that belong to the deceased to me says they might have buried their dead here.
I say we get that box and take it up to the Shoshone as a sign of goodwill.
Well,
What do
maybe,
you
but hold on.
think?
No, because that could be disturbing their grave sites. What I'm thinking is if they're bringing in ticks to bring out people in waves, now let's just play this out. Throwing a bunch of ticks, attach them into the back of the heads of all the young, strong, able-bodied men and bring them out of the town during the night. I think they're protecting their land for whatever reason. Now, they said they got it 10 years ago, so it don't line up exactly. But to me, there's a lot of information pointing to Shoshone, and maybe a peace mission, like Lacy said, might be a good idea. Just taking a box might not be the best because, like I said, it could be the deceased's remains.
Yeah, you may be right. I mean, I haven't seen. If it is the ticks, they're not killing people, not at least yet. Their intentions might be peaceful, just to protect their land.
Well, they did kill Barrow, though.
And that could be Barrow, you're right. But we also got the lead of Charles.
Sorry, it can't. Barrow's dead. Is that what you said?
No, but I said they did kill Barrow.
Ah.
Because he said they haven't killed anyone yet. I said they had killed Barrow.
Well, we don't know that that was them.
Well, we do know that it was Charles and the sheriff. And you're right. You're right. It's not lined up yet.
Charles yet either. We got to go check out his room, which was last seen empty. I don't know. Hey, buddy.
You did check the room last time.
Yeah.
You didn't find anything aside from maybe some belongings that you'd reckon would be on his person, such as his cowboy hat, were missing.
Okay.
But
All right.
now maybe that's if he was thinking.
All right. Well, the question now is either we wait for Oakland to come or we meet Oakland. Do we have any way of knowing how he would travel here?
By train, you reckon?
Is there any way we
Possibly
can-
by coach if he was in a hurry, but if you know he's coming in a week's time, it sounds like he's coming by train.
Well, it doesn't make any sense to ride out on train trying to stop him. So what's the plan? I don't know.
Well, Holden speaks up and he says, "Gentlemen, if you want, I can do the research into the speculation about who would be smart enough to turn these creatures into what they are, and I can get back to you very quickly."
Yeah, as well as information on how to weaponize something that would destroy the ticks and not the humans. We'll get you a sample, though.
Well, thank you. I reckon that'll be useful. Also, come by and get the rest of my suits. They might help you out.
Yeah. I must still have mine because we rode out with it.
That's right.
So-
Well, they took you guys took it off because it would have been hot on
Right.
the road, and that's why there was the fear of the.
So they're on
Like
my
you had
horse.
Yeah,
They must be
exactly.
on my horse or something.
You have two of them. That's right.
Yeah, and I just say they're basically beekeeping suits. They prevent bites and stings and such.
And Lewis perks up to this. He says, "It just keeps all bugs off."
Yeah, well, they're hot as hell, though, Lewis.
Heat I can stand.
Shit,
I grew
Lewis.
up in Louisiana.
So did I. And you know what I could go for? Some fucking gambling. As soon as this is done, we got to get these chumps around the table and show them what for. But in the meantime, I do think we got to find out as soon as possible who's likely to be weaponizing these bugs.
And we got to find a tick.
Yeah. How soon can you find out, Halton?
Well, I got some pretty good records back home. You come with me. I'm pretty sure I can find some names.
Let's do that, buddy.
Let's
I
all
understand Oakland's a priority, but I don't think we're going to be able to catch him because we don't even know whether he's coming by coach or train or what.
I understand, and it's on the way anyway.
How far is the ride to Cheyenne again? It's like a week?
No, we're not
Yeah,
hanging
it's,
Stanson.
It's much
Fuck
longer than that. It's a while still.
Oh,
Okay.
we're still
Fuck
hanging
Stanson.
Stanson.
Who gives
Now,
a
hold on a
shit?
second. The ride to Cheyenne was 2 nights because that's how long it was for the train to get. No, the train ride is 2 nights, so it would take you quite a bit longer.
Okay. And we have to go to Stanson to get to Holton's place.
What? No. Stanson was someone we could hang. Look,
Oh,
we're just going to saddle up and ride it.
Shit.
We're going to saddle up, and I'm going to take Halton because he doesn't have a horse, and we're gonna ride out to Halton's.
Okay, and in my not crazy voice, in a crazy voice, I say also that I'd like to go with you and try and catch this fella for experiments. The one that you saw.
No, we're not catching him. I tell you that. I said, Lacy, we're not catching him. He was an hour past Halton's place out in a canyon filled with ticks. This is what we call an ambush site where you die a miserable, grisly death. Right now, we're in the recon mode. I know you want to go in guns blazing, believe me, I do too, but we need to figure out what the fuck's going on before we start shooting.
So we got to get.
That's why I want to go catch someone. Make sure he can. Aren't we trying to find somebody that we can do experiments to? And make sure that
you want to ride out and grab a
ticks?
tick. If you want to ride out and grab a tick, that's fine. But that's 2 hours out of your day, and I don't know how long it's going to take once we get to Halton's.
Oh, dang.
Buddy Jax, being
Just
down
tell
these
me what to
mines
do.
has not been good for you. You're hurting already. Your lungs are not feeling good, and being down here with all the dust and everything, and the ghost rock dust is really taking its toll. So you're actually going to take a -1 to fatigue reasons. For at least 15 to 20 minutes outside of this mine.
I'm gonna go wait in the sun, gentlemen.
I'm gonna ride right up to Halton's right now. I'm sick of waiting.
I'm gonna pull out the piece of chalk and paper from my not chalk but charcoal and paper from my pocket, my little pouch thing here, and I'm gonna do a not a sketch but that crayon-y thing. A rubbing of
And as the others are leaving and Lacy's staying behind, I stay back with him and I say, "Hey, Lacy.
What is it, Lewis?
You mentioned earlier about maybe making a flamethrower, something to destroy a lot of ticks at one time.
Yeah, let's do it.
That might not be a bad idea. Maybe we
I
could.
like the way you think.
What's that girl's name? Ella?
Mary?
Mary?
Madeline? What's her name?
Greta?
Who are you talking about, Lily?
Isabel? Lily. That's her name.
Close.
Right.
She might have
We
some
might be able to
ideas
get some
on how to
parts
make
off her.
Yeah.
Create some sort of flame creating gun. Yeah.
Let's get the
Sure.
ball rolling on that. I'll see you outside.
All right.
Okay.
So I do a
So,
rubbing
Buddy
of the
Jax,
sketch.
yeah, and you have that. Buddy
Cool.
and Carver, when you guys get outside, you see there's Halton with a motley crew of old and scary kind of looking men that he's trying to organize to get back in the mines.
Sorry, Halton or Henry?
Sorry, thank you. Henry O'Toole.
And I say, Henry, you going back to the mines?
Well, I like to get my work done, Carver, and we're wasting money in daylight hours.
It's all yours. Now, and I do pull him aside away from men a little bit. I say, Henry, I just want to give you fair warning what's going on right now. For whatever reason, believe it or not, but those ticks are turning violent. They're burrowing into people and turning them sickly. And we believe that's what happened to the sheriff. And you saw the sheriff for what he was, so I want you to
Like
understand.
Lyme disease you're talking about, Carver?
Something like that. But you saw the sheriff for what he was, right?
Oh, yeah, he's a good man.
No. Remember when we brought you into that room? And
Oh, he was lunatic, crazy man.
That's right. So there's a cause and effect going on here, and whatever gets bit by that tick, we think is happening what's happening to the sheriff. So you make sure to take care of your men, all right?
Well, I'll check him for tickbacks and all that, and anything that I see, I'll send him over to Elam's to get checked out.
Yeah,
So is that good enough, Carver?
That's great. Now we're trying to figure this out.
Do the ticks only like my good workers, Carver? What's going on here?
If I told you, you'd think I was crazy, Henry, and frankly, you haven't earned the best of trust from me, so you're going to have to just trust me on this and say, keep ticks away from you, and I walk away from them.
As Carver's walking away from him and I come out of the mine, and I see them too. I hear this conversation. Is it only the old workers with him? Like, has it literally attacked all the young workers?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few young workers still around, but it seems that the majority of the workers that are left are the ragged, older men.
And I holler at Mr. O'Toole. Oh, Mr. O'Toole!
He kind of looks a little... Yeah, Lacy, what's up?
Do me a favor. If you can get your workers to dig out the rest of that pillar, but don't damage it, all right? Don't damage it.
We should have it out in half day, no problem.
Perfect.
Lacy, all the ghost rocks are anyway. No problem, Lacy.
Give me a holler when you're done.
Boys, come on, let's get to work.
If you please.
We revealed it. It says, don't forget to drink your Ovaltine.
God damn it.
All right, guys. So who's all going to Holton's? Everyone going?
Yes.
All right, so you guys get there.
Let's go to Holton's.
And Holton hops off the horse, goes inside, invites you guys in, sits you down, gets you some mead and things to drink and some food.
You don't mind if we take these here suits? We're going to keep them on ourselves because wherever we're going to be heading is going to be a bit dangerous. All right?
Just bring them back. They're expensive. And he's rummaging around, looking through his notes and his files and books. And eventually, you guys drink a fair bit and eat a fair bit. It's been
I don't drink.
You actually had some at the bar, but anyways.
I had whiskey, my own brand. I poured my own whiskey.
That was at the bar?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no. And then
no, I didn't. Hey, hold on. I knew how fucked up they got. They needed shots to cure themselves. I would not have drunk anything from this town anymore. I'm done with that shit.
We do have 5 of those syringes.
That's like whatever. I don't need it. I can cure cancer later.
Fair enough, Carver. If you don't drink, that's fine.
I've been drinking my whole life ever since I was a wee boy.
Yes.
I don't know any other way.
Holton comes back.
I'll drink to that.
He looks down at the drinks that you haven't finished and kind of interested by that. But anyways, he moves on and goes, well, I have just rumors here, some notes about some intellectual types. This gentleman appears to be, and he's supposed to be a genius, but he apparently is writing under a pseudonym. And some of his journals, they come from California way down towards the maze. And there's one man that they, G. Kittrick, if that rings any bells for you.
No, I don't ring any bells.
Strangely.
Yeah, but I think this is a pseudonym that he's going under, not his true name. As there's been other writings under other names that people believe in the same style and same research. For some reason, he's gone by other names.
But same personality, floating around, eh?
I don't recognize G. Kittrick. Who you recognize it as, Lewis?
I don't know. It just speaks to me somehow. I don't know. I just get chills when I think of that name, and I never heard it before.
Fair enough.
Seems like in another life I would have run into a G. Kittrick.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's not get wacky here, boys. We're still trying to solve
Either way,
this.
Carver, I believe he works. From the research that I see, he moves around a lot, as it seems he writes of different areas, but he primarily is out of the maze and towards where Father Grimm would work.
Yeah. How old are them notes?
These notes tend to be. I mean, they vary. Some of them are. And he looks down, very confused, and he says, "Well, this one here is nearly 50 years now. That's bizarre. Must have been my father's." But then this one over here he must be a very old man to be working for so long.
All right, so where could we find him then?
I mean, if the majority are in the maze down in California, I reckon you can find them there.
Shit.
My voice changed, but that's okay. I'm trying. There's a lot of voices tonight.
So basically our closest lead for developing the creatures is down in California, which we ain't gonna go. Oakland's about a week away, which we ain't gonna go.
But is there... Holton, do you think
he hands you all the journals, and you see all the different journals there and all the different things that he thinks are connected to this guy.
What the hell is a Borgiel? Look, do we know exactly where the Shoshone main tribe might be?
Well, yeah, I reckon you could find them, but more likely they're going to find you before you get there.
Why do you think that?
Well, the Shoshone, they surely know their land, and they'll have scouts if you go up, and they live fairly far north to the east, away from the desert area, where it's a little bit more lush, and you'll find them.
So where you and I were riding out?
Yeah, I reckon a few more hours journey, you'll find them.
I don't know, Lewis. What are you thinking?
I feel like we got some good ideas already. I got some good leads. Is there a train going out of Holton to Cheyenne?
And again, no. I mean, you got to wait for the.
I don't think we can leave town in that way.
We got to get a tick. We got to warn the citizens to watch out for ticks. If anybody finds a tick, that might be a way to get ticks. You tell them it's, I don't know, some sort of disease you get from a tick. I don't know. And I look around the table and I see a bowl of fruit. I say, oh yeah, just call it like Lyme disease or something that you can get from ticks. And,
Carver, you invented Lyme disease. You named it. Carver, from the number of ticks that you saw, it's like trying to protect people from being rained on or something. It's just
No,
like,
I know, yeah.
It's like
Well,
you could warn people, but
No, it's not
they
about
can stay
warning
covered
them.
up. But even
Well,
in
that's
their
what I'm
sleep,
saying. That's
Yeah.
why we got to figure out what the source is.
It's just not about warning them right now, though. We got to find a tick, and I think that if we have the entire town looking for ticks, it's going to be much faster to find them if we're staying here in town. If we're looking for one that we can give as a sample to
Oh, yeah.
this man figure out how to destroy them. In terms of actually killing them, I don't have any ideas. Any ideas on who might be doing this, buddy?
Well, first off, it makes sense to me that it would be the Shoshone. They're closest ties to nature, but I gotta tell you, I'm not feeling too good about these angel cowboy folk. I think they wouldn't. It's not too much they wouldn't stoop to try to get their way.
Yeah, so we got those angels. Those are the people that we stopped the other night.
Yeah,
Good
the
man,
guardian angels.
all in red.
you reckon you got the leader of the gang.
Yeah.
There could be more.
He had something on his body, right? He was holding something.
Yeah, bone, which you still have.
And he also had the
It's a
handkerchief
bone-
with the
yeah,
cross.
the handkerchief. Well, that came from one of the other men you killed, I believe, when you were fighting with Stanson. But then later on, you killed the leader, and you did have a bone fragment. And you also have the dried fruit given to you by Father Barrow.
So I put the dried fruit on the table, and who has the bone?
We'll say who killed the head guy. I believe
That was Lacy.
Buddy put him down, and Lacy finished the job. So Lacy, you have the bone fragment.
Yes, I do.
You put that on the table,
Here it is.
and I just inspect them all to see if there are any other Shoshone markings on them.
No, nothing.
Nothing. Well, bone, I would have guessed. Shoshone had something to do with that. Does anybody here know anything about the Shoshone? Could you tell me if this is a Shoshone bone that they might have
Buddy,
given?
I thought you had something from the Shoshone, didn't you?
They call it Shoshone Bonies.
Real
Well,
Shoshone.
let's give it a shot.
And I sit down in the chair and take off my hat, exhausted.
What'd you say, buddy?
Let me take a better look at that. I hadn't seen that bone, really.
You know something about the Shoshone?
Buddy, you know of some Shoshone practices because you've spent some time with them, I believe.
I have a little.
And it
That's
would be
where I learned to do my tracking.
unlikely they would keep remainders of people with them unless they were an enemy. They tend to build these almost like pyres that they don't light, where the body can, the spirit can be released, but they tend to leave, and they're very respectful of the dead. So this would be almost against their belief system to have a fragment. It's a kind of an insult, just like taking a scalp is an insult to their enemies.
Just out of curiosity, what is our general feelings towards, like, the Shoshone? Like, do we expect that to show, like, what the white man do we show up?
There are some racist people here
Yeah.
who still are against, but for the most part, there is bad people are racist basically towards the Shoshone, but the majority of people are accepting of the fact that they just live a different way than they do, and there's often towns that interact fully with Aboriginal culture.
All right. I say we ride for the Shoshone, and we do it right now. I think at the very least we can eliminate them and get some answers about eliminate them from suspects. Let me clarify that, and get some answers about what maybe the cave that they're mining in was originally, whether it was a burial ground or just a place to ward off evil spirits or what.
All right, I like that idea. I'm down. Now, what about this tick business? Getting a specimen for our friend.
Well, if we're riding up northwest, put it this way: the ticks were north of here. They were also in the cave, so ticks are all over. Halton, and I turn to him. I say, "You got a horse, yeah?"
Oh yeah, I know. It's like I don't. He don't get the idea. He doesn't leave much. So why would he need a horse?
You don't own a horse.
No, Sir Carver.
Well, how would you get into town to buy food and things like that?
Well, I get Ezra to bring me food.
Right. All right. Look,
Is Ezra a horse?
15-minute horse ride is a how long walk?
50-minute horse ride is, we'll say, an hour walk.
An hour. Yeah.
You want to go for an hour-long walk, Halton?
Where are we going? To the canyon? Is that what you're saying?
Halton, I think...
The Shoshone territory is beyond that. Guys.
No, I want you to go into town and speak with Elam and see if he can help you collect a tick sample from within the caves. Get Henry O'Toole to help as well, and the two of you can be working in town on it. Or he can drive you back up here.
Holden assures you he can get the tick sample if there are some in the cave by himself. He's going to want a suit, though, so you guys are going to be down one suit.
Right. Just seems a waste of time to go back to town to bring back a tick when we got to be riding north for the Shoshone right away. Is there any way we get a message to Elam to maybe get a tick and ride out here? Shit.
Oh, is little Ezra around?
Yeah, where is Ezra?
Well, Ezra, in fact, I haven't seen him in a day or so. He was due to bring me a shipment of food and supplies on the way in the barrel.
But?
Well, now he's dead.
But he hasn't come yet? Is what you're saying? He hasn't come yet?
Unfortunately,
he hasn't?
I'm a little embarrassed, but them pastries I gave are a little stale.
All right. Anyway.
Well, you better
he's implying that his shipment hasn't come yet.
You gave us stale pastries, you son of a bitch.
You're gonna get.
You know how
soon.
I hate stale pastries.
Ezra,
Buddy, what were you saying? Sorry?
I was just saying, Holton, you better figure this shit out because you're gonna get pretty hungry soon.
I was gonna say, look, Halton, if you're not back in town either way, I mean, you're gonna need food, you need water. You're not capable of keeping yourself. And if Ezra stopped delivering, you got to get your ass back to town either way. So unfortunately, you don't own a horse. I feel badly, but we gotta start riding north for Shoshone. If you can get back into town,
I understand.
If you can get back into town and let Elam, he's the blacksmith. Or no, he's not anymore. He's
apothecary.
The apothecary now. If you can let him know about the tick problem and that we sent you to work with him to try to figure out a way to get the ticks, then he might be willing to head into the cave himself because we're going to need all 4 suits, unfortunately. So you don't have to risk it if you don't feel comfortable for it, but we're going to need to keep these if we're riding north because that country was swarming with ticks last time we were there.
And he heroically stands up and puts his goofy goggles on that zoom in his eyes and are all over the place, and he goes, "Don't worry, Carver, you can count on me," and he storms out of the room.
One more
You're
thing.
a goddamn hero, Halton.
One more thing, Holton.
Yeah, Lewis.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gone for a second. And I kind of look back to the guys and I say, it can't hurt. When you talk to Elam, tell him to let the townsfolk know that there are ticks around and try not to get bit by one.
You see him. Now, you know that there's a lot of panicky people already being left from the sheriff's away.
True.
And that, they haven't seen Father Barrow now.
I don't think we want to do that, actually.
We can do it.
Kind of from anxiety.
We can do it. It might protect them.
Yeah.
I'm going to step up and say, Lewis, I understand the logic, but I think we should put it this way. If a giant tick comes running at people, they're going to be smart enough to squish it themselves. I don't think we should start panic just yet. That's just me, though.
Way, as long as Elam knows to look out for ticks.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, and that being said,
Elam
also
gets turned into a
Lily would know, of course.
blood-raging maniac. I don't want to be the one that faces him down.
It's a small town, guys, and you'll really need to convince Holton to not spill the beans, because I mean, this is excitement. Although he's a recluse, he's going to tell Elam anyways, and we got to stop Elam from. So we need to maybe concoct a lie for Holton, unless you want to share the information with Elam.
No, I don't think we need to lie to Holton. I think you got it in you, buddy, Holton. And I walk over to Holton. I put my hands on both of his shoulders. Holton, you're a goddamn war hero. You know that?
Well, Carver.
No, Halton. I've been here twice now. Both times you've been amicable, you've been sweet, you've been kind, you shared information. But I want you to know you're also a war hero, and that don't mean just what it sounds like. War ain't about killing people. It ain't about bringing violent pestilence on other people. War is about saving people. That's what it's about. It's about protecting what you love, and what we love more than anything in the world is that town.
Bugs. A town. Yeah.
That's right.
And
Sometimes
breasts. I mean.
Sometimes. Sometimes fighting a war doesn't necessarily mean you need to fight it with guns. Some wars are fought with words. And this war, today, tonight, with you riding back into town, is going to have to be fought with words. In this case, the lack thereof. The less you tell those people, the safer, the more protected they're going to be, and the bigger of a hero you're going to walk away from this as.
Well, I'll tell you then we had a few minor infections, but nothing major, and maybe, or yeah, something like that. I'll come up with something, Carver.
You don't even need to lie. You can be straight with Elam, because Elam won't tell anybody so long as you tell him the same thing that I'm telling you right now, that the two of you are going to walk away from this as heroes.
You got it, Carver. Now do a rule to see how much you convinced him how much you impressed him to do this.
I impressed him exactly...
Roll another 6.
7 times.
So it's enough. You reckon he's probably going to tell... If he saw Ezra, he would tell Ezra.
But Ezra's dead.
Well, I hope not.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
And then, that would be really it, because he's not very talkative as it is.
All right. Be safe, Halton, eh? Be safe.
And he rides off. Nervously. And at that moment, we're going to do the mid-game post.
Oh,
Mid-game
sure.
post!
Mid-game post!
God!
Be safe, Holton, I think is a good one.
Be safe, Holton. That's a long one. All right.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Be safe? Like be...
Oh, yeah, two E's.
2 E's for be safe, Holton.
Well. Holton. Chris?
What, how you spell it?
Yeah.
Holton.
In my notes, I always had Halton for some reason.
Holton?
Yep.
Holton. I always had Halton.
Just like Charles.
Hold on, I need to write this because I didn't get warning again. First, second, and third post, and 20th. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the mid-game post. We are going to post it right now. The first, second, and third people to post with the words "Be Safe, Holton," all 3 will get 5 XP each. That's the first, second, and third spot, as well as the 20th spot. The picture is uploading right now, and I'm going to post it in about 2 seconds. Here we go. It is live. Go ahead. Good luck.
Ooh, it's the mid-game post. And they're out of the gates.
Jake Ortega.
Jake Ortega to an early start.
Wow, we got Jake Ortega coming around the band here. We got who's gonna be up next?
All right, first place we have Jake Ortega with "Be Safe, Holton." Well done, Jake.
Harlan's a little late on the draw there. We got Jake Ortega coming around the band here. Then Bob Lyle is slowly.
We have Mr. Alex. I'm gonna mute you. I swear to Christ, too late. And next we have Mr. Godpool in second, and Vincent Vaughn Greeley in third place. Well done, guys. That's our first, second, and third spot. And now let's... Oh, my God, Bob, look at this. Now we're going to count up to 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is Mark... No, opinion commented, bunched it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is Mark Lane.
I don't even see it.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 is Mr. Bob Lyle. Well done, Bob. That brings us to the 4 winners, Jake, Godpool, Vincent, and Bob. Well done, guys. You won the mid-game post. Fantastic job, as always.
It's Jake Ortega.
Sorry. Great job, as always. That was the mid-game post. Fantastic. You guys each have 5 XP to spend immediately. And this might be a good time to draw from the pool of chips. Chris, what do you think? In a muted sense. In an unmuted sense. Give us your muted thoughts first, and then your unmuted thoughts.
Okay, everyone gets 3. Gonna start with Lacey. Oh boy, Lacey, you got a legendary chip.
Oh shit.
Legendary. I'm going to be using that when we attack.
Dangerous. We got a red chip.
Nice.
And we got a white chip.
Nice. Thank you.
That was the last legendary in there, by the way.
Seriously?
That's all we got. We gotta do some more legendary stuff.
Well, that means I
am
gotta shoot
so.
stuff.
Lewis, you got 3 white.
3 white. All right.
3 white, all right. 3 white, all right, all right.
Carver, you have a red and 2 white.
Yay!
Oh, sorry. That's Buddy. I'm doing it left to right.
Damn it.
Sorry, what was that? 2 reds and a white?
A red and
Yep.
2 whites.
Red and 2 white. 2 reds and a white, or 1 red and 2 whites?
1 red, 2 white.
All right.
And Carver, you have, 3 whites.
I hate you.
I'm sorry.
I've never
I came
hated
out
you
on
more.
top of that.
I've never hated you more than I hate you right now.
I have. I swear to God, I'm not cheating. 2 blues and a red.
He's a goddamn cheater. Shoot him in the head.
All right. Great.
All right.
All right. So you guys rolled right out. I'm sorry.
No. That's why, because I wanted to ask some questions before we left. I turned to Buddy. Buddy, you had some dealings with Shoshone. Is there any way to approach them in a non-hostile manner? You know, waving a white flag, something like that.
Well, I think the best bet is we just ride up straight and proud. Let them know that we're honorable men. And I'll tell you, I can show them this. It's a gift I got from a Shoshone chieftain.
Which should give you at least some leeway with them to.
Nothing special,
heard.
just shows them that we are friendly.
All right, brilliant. Is there anything else in their customs that they take as hostile or that we shouldn't be doing?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Carver. If you start spieling all that about wars being won with talking and all that bullshit to show you've never been in a war, you're definitely going to offend those warriors.
Buddy, you do know that I said that so that man would fuck us over and tell us.
And that's exactly why I kept my jaw shut there, Carver. I knew what you were trying to do, but my God, man, you can pull shit out of your ass faster
You know-
than anyone I've ever seen.
Well,
know that-
saved us more times than I can count, buddy, so I'd say I'll take that as a thank you.
Anybody want to gamble?
But
You know
you
what?
know also that in discussion, silence does not mean disinterest. It means that there's a lot of contemplation before reaction. So, talking to someone, you can't expect them always to react immediately. It's a little bit slower to like to think and digest the thoughts before coming back and expressing. They don't like to dialogue things. They like to think things through before they make a decision.
So you're going to have to be patient, Carver. They're
All right. I like
thoughtful
it.
people.
I'd like to
Yeah, I'm all right
interrupt
with
for just 1 second. Just 1 second. Will Finazzo gave me a white chip, which is thank you very much, Will. I will use it to help us out. And Marcus Landau said, "Hey Harlan, I have a lot of XP I'd like to spend. So if you ever need bennies, go right ahead and take however much you want. So let's empty that bank account."
Thank you. Well, I'm going to try not to this game because I got 3 whites and it's only halfway through still. So I'm going to try to use these. If I do need them, though, I will happily take them. Thank you so much, Marcus.
And I wonder if this is a map that Bob made for us. Check this puppy out. This is the
Huh.
Canyon map?
Canyon map. There's West River, or Shoshone, East River. Oh, here's West River, East River, Tick Butt, Tick Cave, and here's where it says map. So you know it's a map.
That's right.
Shit, we're on the back of a giant tick.
That's a good job there.
All right, what are you guys doing? Are you guys writing out or no?
Yeah, so long as we know that now we know the customs, I'm ready to ride. You boys?
I'm ready.
All right.
Okay,
Should
so
I
you
come with
guys each need to do a riding check.
Okay.
Because it's a long distance and you're going to get worn out.
Finally, a rolling. So it's a 6 with everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
6 and an 8. Oh, damn it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I exploded my 6.
Nice. 6.
Does that mean I roll another 6?
So,
suppose
anyone
it's
who's over 4 is successful,
Nice.
so we're all good. No
I don't
one's
have any
seen...
riding as a skill though, so does that mean it's -2?
It is -2, that's right.
Yeah. So I'm at.
So, you did not get successful, Lewis, so you are actually feeling a little fatigued. So
Oh.
you're gonna...
But can I help him?
Nope.
Can I give him a Benny to help him reroll?
Feeling fatigue.
I'll give you a
He can
Benny.
use it. He has an own. No, he has to use his own bennies to reroll.
Oh.
You can't spend your bennies on his rolls. Otherwise, then it's like you guys all have a big pot of bennies.
Even with a legendary.
Yeah, you can do it
I'm
with
not using my
legendary, but that seems like a
legendary.
weak
Alright.
reason.
I'll take the fatigue. I'm pretty tired anyways. There's been a lot of bugs and blood and stuff.
Yeah, Lewis, you got a fatigue.
So what is
Or,
that?
yeah.
Now, just to be clear here, Marshall, earlier
-1,
you
you
had -2 to fatigue. Was that still in play? Because you said it would be 15
No,
minutes.
it was
for this.
15 minutes, so that was just to get to Holton's. You guys were there for a while.
All right.
So what does that do? Sorry.
-1 to all your trait checks.
All traits. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if it's something, it has to be more physical traits, I'm going to say, because this is more like bumps and bruises, kind of sore ass kind of thing, not so much mentally.
Mental. Okay.
Yeah, so if it's a physical trait, I'm going to give you a deduction.
Guys, I got a sore ass.
As you guys are riding, the landscape started off very barren, and you have a lot of canyon-like hard granite. But eventually you get out, and you find yourself into a little bit more plains, and you find some more rivers, and soon enough you come out close to a river, and 2 men on horseback see you in the distance.
What time of day is it?
We left probably. It's mid-afternoon, 4 o'clock. We'll say 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Do they look to be native?
Oh yeah, they seem to be wearing traditional outfits.
And I kind of turn to Buddy and I say, "All right, Buddy, I'll defer to you."
Well, in this case, I'm going to just let my little medallion hang in front for the first time ever as I ride up slowly. Come on, Judy.
And as you ride up, immediately one of them rides out to meet you, like almost in a show, kind of saying, "I'm not afraid. Here I am."
And I take off my hat, put it on the saddle.
And he runs right by you, buddy, and he rides towards the others, rides around them, and comes back to where his partner was standing, or on horseback.
And I'll wait
You
right
see-
where I am.
And they're eyeing you guys, and you can see that they're armed. They have tomahawks, they have bow and arrows, and they have clubs, and they're talking for a bit. And they walk over, and in a language. Do any of you speak Shoshone?
No, sir, we do not.
No, I don't.
So this is going to be a strange encounter, possibly. But in a language you don't comprehend, they seem to be very aggressive. Shouting at you, pointing.
I hold my hands
Please.
up. What do we do, Luz?
I'm hoping that one of you can speak English.
And they begin together, and they talk to each other.
I don't put my hands up.
I don't either, and I've got true grit, so I exude toughness. However, respectful toughness.
So one of them
And
rides
I
over
don't reach for my gun.
to you, buddy. Arrow fletched, no, not fletched, knocked,
Drawn?
walks over to you, or rides up to you, and sees the medallion and grabs it and looks at it and pulls it off your neck. And you hear this like really kind of a boisterous yell, and it kind of ushers and he rides off as if to tell you guys to follow.
Let's go, gentlemen.
All right.
So I speak to Carver as we're riding. I say, "So wait, I wasn't supposed to put my hands up there? I felt like a put your hands up kind of moment."
I don't know. I think a lot of this culture is built around respect and showing that you can be tough. So if we do get into town, don't back down so easily. And I don't know if it's the right answer, but I feel like that's what they were trying to do to us. Maybe we should do the same.
As you guys are going towards wherever they're leading you, you notice eventually another horseman comes up behind you guys, and another, until there's about 5 of them riding behind you and 2 of them in front of you.
All right.
Stay tall in your saddles, gentlemen.
So they get to a point where they look at you, and they come back, the 2 men in the front, they come back to you, and they gesture aggressively to the ground. And they're yelling, and they're pointing at the ground.
Buddy?
I get off my horse.
And as soon as you get off the horse, Lacy, one man comes up and he grabs you. And he's holding on to you. And you notice he's armed with a tomahawk, and it's out. But he grabs you.
And I don't flinch.
He grabs Lacy?
Yeah, because he got off his horse.
Alright, then I draw my gun and I just point it.
As soon as you draw...
I put my hand up and to Lacy and to Carver.
Hold up, Carver. Hold up, Carver.
Put it away,
Yeah, I'm just
Carver.
making
As
sure
soon
we're not
as
walking
Carver
into a trap.
as soon as Carver even reaches for his gun, you see them all draw their bows up. And the guy with the tomahawk now has it in his hand.
Lacy, just stand still. Don't flinch. Carver, put
I don't
your gun
flinch.
away.
I don't know. I think they're trying to test our grit here.
Absolutely. That's why you're going to put your gun away.
Don't that show we're cowards?
Not at all.
It's a smart thing to do, Carver. Of all people, shouldn't these situations be turned around? I usually have my gun drawn. Put your gun away.
And I'll
Wait,
take off my hat
Lacy?
again.
Alright,
So you can
alright.
see my whole face.
And I'll reholster my gun then.
This time he yells at you even louder what he was saying, and he's pointing to the ground, very aggressively now.
So are they holding me or what?
They're holding you, and they're holding you like they're kind of pushing you around a little bit, but not.
Not
They're
forcing me
supposed
to
to
the
get
ground.
off
They're not hurting you or anything. They're just holding you. They don't want you to move around too much.
Listen, guys. I need one of you that can speak English.
Buddy, did you get off your horse or no?
I did not.
And they just look at you like you have a choice.
They're still on their horses, aren't they?
Some of them are, yeah. Some of the ones that were behind you have gotten off the horse. It seemed as soon as Lacy got off his horse, two of them came down and grabbed him.
Okay, then I'll get off my horse as well, I guess.
And as soon as you do that, some of the men come up and grab you.
Okay.
What is this?
When Lacy out reasons you, he says.
And they're yelling at you, buddy, and they're yelling at you, Lewis.
And I say, guys, get down off your horses. I guess that's what they want.
All right. I didn't know that's why they're yelling.
Yeah, me neither.
On the ground.
It may not be, but you know what? We can face them on the level ground, right?
Lacy, I've said this before. I'll say it again. You're one crazy motherfucker. And I step down.
So, Lacy, you feel a rope come out to try to start binding your hands. And it looks like he comes to the front. He's not hiding it. He comes to try to bind your hands.
We let them
break
do
my
this?
hands up, and I shove off the rope, and nope.
And they yell at you
time.
again, and they grab you and hang on to you. And
And
the
I
one at the
try to
front
bind
kind of puts a hand down, and he gestures. He points towards where they're going, and he gestures like this and holds a rope up. He says, pointing and gesturing, while talking and very aggressive.
And I turn to Buddy and I say,
Well,
is
boys?
this normal? They bind us when they walk us in?
Well,
I put my hand on his chest.
Not the way my last meeting with them went, but again, I was with Cole Ferguson, and he knew how to speak the language.
Lacy, as soon as you put your hand on his chest, he kind of pushes you back again. Now, when Cole met them, buddy, it was already a relationship they had built. They recognized Cole, right? These men don't recognize you, buddy, but they know that you have this medallion. You know that they're taking you into their village, or where they're staying.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do?
It could be that they're gonna kill you as soon as you get there. It could be a matter of them just trying to have protection, or it could just be them trying to look like they're the more powerful.
And what I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna hand over my guns.
Right.
But I'm not
okay.
gonna get down.
So one of them grabs a gun, and as soon as you hand it to him, he kind of looks like he doesn't want to touch it, and he drops it immediately on the ground. And it looks kind of like, and he's kind of like rubbing his hands as if it's dirty, very similar to how Lewis would have. If it was
Boys,
that he does that.
you know what? I gather that we got to get into their land. Do we have to get into their land? We want to speak with somebody that speaks our language, and I'm sure it's the chief.
Yeah.
But it
And
seems
the one at the front who's been really kind of directing everything holds the medallion up, and he points into the town. again where they're headed.
All
What's
right.
the medallion say on it? Is that the one that
just a plain circle?
he holds yours up?
Yes, he took
Is that
mine
the
from
one?
me.
Okay.
All right, then I walk over with my hands like this.
And they wrap it around with ropes, but you notice that how they wrap it, it's not terribly tight. It doesn't feel like you couldn't get out. It's just
don't
kind of
break
like,
eye contact with him as I do.
and they tie it, and they just kind of wrap it in around almost symbolically. It's not like they're tying it tight.
And I say, I think they're just trying to put on a show. Let your hands be tied, buddy. It's not going to be
All
anything
right.
special.
I'll get off, and I'll put my hands out.
But
As
pick
soon as
up
you
your
do,
guns.
the same thing
Just
happens.
relax, Judy.
They
Should
don't
I,
seem to care about your weapons. They're allowing them to stay on you.
Good.
I say to the other guys, I say to these guys, gentlemen, should I stay back and stay unbound, or should I just submit and go with you?
Nah, come with us.
I don't think
All
we
right,
have a
Lewis.
choice.
Let's go.
Lewis,
So
are you
I-
on your horse?
No, I got down.
Okay, so again, once you guys are all bound, just your hands.
Yeah.
Again, they're processionally walking with the two men in front, with you guys bound, and all these braves around you.
Where are they
As I'm
taking us?
walking,
buddy?
I'm loosening the knot just with my fingers. Not taking
It's
it off. I just want to make
Yeah.
sure I can.
you easily can. It won't be
Okay.
much for you to. You can almost shake them off. They're so loose.
Where are
Perfect.
they taking us, buddy?
They're gonna take us to someone that can speak.
And as they do, you start seeing that they're on the edge of a river bend. Don't you say anything racist. And then I thought you guys were going to make a Pocahontas reference or something like that.
Oh, just around. Okay. Yeah.
Would that be
okay.
racist anyway?
I don't know.
Racist?
I think it's too late now.
Disney, guys, Disney is off limits.
can
Don't you
Walt-
dare.
So then they get there. You see that there's a whole bunch of women and men and everyone, and it's a whole town. And you're taking it through the center of everything, and they stop you. And they're kind of posturing as they do it. And the man at the front gets off his horse, walks into the nicest of the housing, and he walks through the door, and he disappears. And then coming out, you notice a man who has got more lavish traditional garb walking out.
The
He
most
greets you.
lavish.
Looks you guys over, walks up to Buddy, and says, "Why have you come?"
We've come to talk. Now, I do expect that the best one of us to talk is going to be that fellow there, nodding over to Carver.
And
But
just
please-
because I was looking down at the time, I think he nods at Lacey, and Lacey thinks he nods at him too.
Well, I gotta tell you, you're gonna have to be patient with him. He talks mighty fast. His jaw's going miles a minute.
And
And
with
he,
that,
he goes back and talks to the man who had walked into the tent with the medallion. Comes back to you, Buddy, and says,
Heard that, Harlan.
"I speak to you."
Fair
and
enough.
with that, actually, I pull just because I want to smoke this. I reach into my pocket and out of my little satchel, I pull a cigar, and I.
And the guy who's guarding you grabs it right away out of your mouth.
Oh, son of a bitch! They don't even want some of it.
Oh, he wants it. He just wants all of it.
Oh, so that I grab a second one.
And again, they takes the next one.
Oh,
So
I
he'll
keep
continue to
grabbing
do this. He keeps doing until you're all out. Now,
fuck off! Come on,
Uh,
at least let me have one.
he gestures for you guys to
I
come
don't
in,
care.
and
I'm
he
being
gets
big.
into the space that he had just come out of. And as soon as he closes the door, he says, "Take those off, please. It's silly, and I will talk to all of you."
And just remove mine. Yeah.
Why?
Shake my hand.
There is still some mistrust amongst my people with your kind, and we still need to show our strength.
Understandable.
There's reason. It's just a language barrier, and now that I can speak your language, I know your ways are not to harm us outright.
No.
No, we're here because we're friends of Sheriff Cole, and he's asked us to help him out.
I've not seen Cole in a long time.
Who are you?
They call me Sokinam.
None.
I'll write that down for you guys so you can.
Yeah, thank you.
No, it's exactly how it sounds, right? Sokinum. HR5QL.
Asterix.
So Keenan, is it all right if I ask you a few questions?
Buddy, of the few words you know that to mean rain, by the way, if that makes a difference. And it's a very honorable name because of the life-giving properties of rain. Yes, Carver. Or sorry, what would you like to ask?
My name is Carver. It means not rain. No, my name is Carver. It's a pleasure to meet you. I understand the theatrics and the need for strength. We're actually in a similar situation right now in town. We are Cole's assigned deputies, and he has since disappeared of late, and we are trying to show our strength in town to make sure that the people of town are no longer fearful of the things that have happened. Cole Ferguson has become ill, very ill. We believe he was bit by a tick. For some reason, it has turned him into someone we do not recognize as Cole Ferguson. A man by the name of Charles, which I believe you had contact with. He's the local barkeep. We have reason to believe that he might have helped the sheriff escape. So for whatever reason, the two are not up to their well-being. And I kind of tell him sort of the Cole's notes of what we know.
Yeah, he's disturbed by what you're saying. As you can tell, he's fond of both Charles and Ferguson. But he also relates to the fact that he has many men who've gone missing himself.
Interesting. Have you ran into any ticks?
Yes, we have. A species that we have never seen before in this land.
All right, then you're in the same boat as us, because we are led to believe, due to the aid of a man named Halton, just up north of town, very nice man, we believe that the ticks are somehow weaponized. We believe they have a bigger purpose in this than what they first appear to be. Something that may be causing them to latch on to people and change them in ways that we can't yet explain. I want to ask you a quick question, though. The town that we now occupy, Halton, in the caves, was originally a Shoshone land. Do you know anything about the caves and what they were used for originally?
We know that they were forbidden in the past, and we have tried desperately to stop your kind from going there and disturbing what has been buried for long ago. I explained this to Cole, but he insisted that progress was inevitable. We didn't want to lose any more men, and as we began to see eye to eye, we stopped the wasted bloodshed.
Why, that's very large of you. Can I offer any of you a cigar?
You don't
I'd
have
say
any.
as I take another drag from a secret pack I had. I have a secret pack.
And he takes it from you.
God damn it.
And he puts it, and he makes a noise to signal to someone outside the tent.
Is it like this?
Similar. Very
It's a
similar.
noise.
And a man comes in. He whispers in his ear, and he leaves. And he goes, "I know why you guys have come here, and it was wise that you did. But unfortunately, I have very little I can offer you. It feels that we are suffering from the same blight, and that your information you brought me is probably more beneficial than what I can give you. But what I can give you," and as he comes back, there's a woman carrying what looks to be several poultices. And he goes, "Yes, a necklace with a satchel underneath."
Okay.
And he goes, "My men who've been working south and doing the surveying down there, who have been traveling abroad, I make sure they wear this so that if they come in contact with the ticks, it helps in repelling them."
What is it made out of, if you don't mind me asking?
And he talks to the woman, and he's kind of reluctant to tell you, and some of the ingredients are coyote pea and other herbs that are growing around there.
I dig it. And I say,
And it stinks. You can smell it. It's very potent and pungent, and it burns the nostrils.
And I say, I understand the hesitancy in sharing the information, but you must understand that the blight that's befallen your people is the same one that's befallen us, and anything that we can utilize to save the young children and women of our town would be beneficial.
The fact that you guys made this journey to speak to us is leaps and bounds towards the diplomacy we hope to share with you.
And I have something else to share with you. Suknum. I'm trying.
Sokinam, yep.
Sokinum.
I don't know.
We have uncovered a few items from your sacred ground in the mines, and I'd like to return them to you, or have you come pick them up. They're yours.
He looks at you and goes,
I believe they're yours.
again, that is a terrible place, and I would never want to enter that space.
Yeah, no, we talked to Lacy before coming here about not doing this, and he didn't listen. So just tell him to fuck off.
No, it's a terrible place. You don't want to enter it.
But those markings that you sketched.
And he looks at you kind of insulted and goes, well, kind of confused. He doesn't know what you're talking about.
So I pull out the markings then. I pull out the scrapings.
The etchings. He looks at these and goes, this is a very, very old symbol. Very old. Perhaps there is maybe one in our whole nation who could read this. It is a warning, I can tell you that much. And it talks of creatures and something called the reckoning.
The reckoning. The reckoning?
Again, this is knowledge that has been passed down from generation to generation. We know that this land is to be left. I read in the symbols, may this door, and that's all I have. May this door, it is a door or something that's there.
Huh.
A pathway is a better translation.
This is the actual cave is the door.
No, whatever symbol Lacy or this gentleman is showing me.
Oh.
And I pull out the book.
It's the rubbings that he took from the arch, or whatever it is that's there.
Yeah.
I pull out the book from Father Barrow's, that he gave me, and I open it, and I give it to him, and I say, "You recognize anything in that? Anything that you've been dealing with? We encountered something called an abomination, I think, but I don't know what you would call it in your culture."
He looks through the book, and he seems to recognize some images, other ones. He makes a note about the Wendigo and the fact that he's seen that. And he says that our traditions speak of a group of men calling themselves the Ravens, and that they've brought upon the world a great evil, a second coming of evil. We think, in our belief, that we are amongst the preparation for that. This book furthers my belief in that. If there's this much evil and this much creatures running on the land, then no doubt we are moving towards a great darkness. Surely you've seen a change in the climate and the weather as of late. Things are not moving towards a good time.
I look at Carver, kind of bewildered, and I say, yeah, the weather's been strange.
And you have noticed that the weather has been changed. The other day when you guys were following, there was these strange thunderstorms that came out of nowhere. You've heard, whispering in the winds that, it sounds like breathy air, like voices, but...
So how you say you're in preparations of preventing this or being ready for this? How can you be ready for this?
How can anyone be ready for this? We try to stop and dispel as much evil as we can, as I believe this is your path also. And this whole charade of you guys coming in here was a sign of strength to ensure that the fear of my people stayed low. I feel if fear grows too great, this is something that the darkness will thrive upon.
I hear you.
Well, Carver, do you have any ideas?
I do, but I think we've taken enough of the chief's time. Don't want to bother you anymore. Actually, sorry, no, 2 quick questions. The men you said that were also affected, left in the middle of the night, were they young, able-bodied men?
They were.
Yeah, I thought
Very
so.
unfortunate. But again, these are my men, the only men I send out to do these work that they were doing would be young men. So I didn't.
No,
think
no,
of
of
it.
course, of course. I can tell you that it was the same with us. It was young, able-bodied men under 18 that were taken. I think whatever's coming this way is marching an army, and we need to make sure that we're working together.
And he listens to you, and then walks over to Buddy and says, "If you can, there is many family members here who would really appreciate you bringing those men back to us."
We'll do what we can, but before I go, I'm gonna need my necklace back. It's important to me. It was
Absolutely.
given to me by Kimame.
And you notice that on the poultice that he was giving to you, it has the emblem there. And each of you have it as well.
Question for you, Mr. Sanakam. Sokanam. I have to keep looking back at that.
Yes.
Do you have any of these men in your men? Do you have any of them in your possession? Are they crazy?
We have the occasional incident, but no one here right now is suffering from any
Well, then I
mental
have something
acuities.
to share with you. If you do get a hold of them, I heard you say cutie.
I know, that was wrong. Call me out on that.
Hot castor oil. Apparently, if they drink it, it will help cure the craziness brought on by the ticks.
Thank you for sharing that knowledge.
Do you know what castor oil is?
Nope.
All right, good luck.
Castor oil? What is
Now,
castor
how
oil?
many men are we looking for, Sokenham?
We have 2 men who's gone missing.
And do you have names for those men?
Ohako, and he's known as Reckless in your tongue. And Oak Mahan is Little Wolf. So Reckless and Little Wolf.
Do they
Thank you.
respond to the English pronunciation of their names?
They will.
All right.
I tend to put the men who can communicate best out there.
Makes sense. Quick question. Don't expect much out of it, but you ever ran into a man? I know you spoke to Cole and Charles, but you ever run into a man named Oakland, Father Oakland?
That name does not ring a bell.
All right, figured. Any other people from this area that maybe you were in contact with?
I have met a man named Elam on occasion.
Right,
He's
right.
been out harvesting wildflowers and such. He seemed harmless.
Bit of a hippie, that one.
Hippie.
Well, he's a bit. You said he was a. You're part of the Ravens.
No, and he looks very shocked by that. Again, the Ravens in our legend is a group of men who have let on the reckoning, who have brought upon the world this evil.
Ah.
Maybe in a connection, and he points to one of the symbols that you see on the archway, and you see an emblem of a raven. And he says, "This scares me quite a bit. Be very careful."
Yeah.
All right, well, you're going to tie us back up here?
If it's all right with you. Although you now have the emblem, we don't need that. You are friends of us now.
Thank you.
Do we need to know what the
Behind
emblem?
you.
Do we need to know what the emblem looks like?
It's Michael. You had it. It was a circular, just a circle, right?
That's it, just a plain
okay.
circle.
Perfect.
So we all have one of these thingies, these pouches. What do you call them?
I call it poultice.
Poultice? How do you spell that? P-U-L-T-I-C?
P-O-U-L-T-I-C.
I just happen to have one.
Nice.
Holy shit.
All right, thank you, Sokenham.
You can call me Rain from now on.
All right, Rain. Thank you. Now listen, if anything should happen to your people, please know that you have friends in the town. If you need to fall back for whatever reason, if the ticks come in and they come in strong, which I don't know if they do, but they might. Please know that you can fall back to our small town. You have friends now.
We will try to avoid being near the mine, but it's good to know that we have friends nearby. Same thing for you and your people. If you need to seek refuge, you can stay amongst us.
For both of our sakes, let's hope that never comes to that. It never comes to that. And I let him tie up, only because of the death and destruction, not because we don't like each other.
All right. And he appreciates the fact that you're doing this, even though he said you don't need to. And he did tie them up, all of you guys out, and he walks you guys out. People are kind of looking at you. Some of them fear, some of them dislike, some of them more intrigue. But eventually you guys are outside of the town, and they untie you and send you on your way.
Good
Well,
girl, Judy.
Shit,
Proud
boys.
of you.
Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Right. We just heading back to town?
I say we
We're gonna-
head to
Holstrom.
our weapons and take off to the cavern. Get ourselves a specimen.
What?
Well, by the time we get back, they might have one. But
Yeah.
All right.
And buddy, you wanted to find Hellstrom?
No. Ignore that. Lost in a little daze there. Sorry. Getting old.
Well, unfortunately, the Shoshone didn't really reveal much more than we already had. Looks like Oakland's still our biggest lead.
Yeah, but maybe Ellen can do something with these poultices.
Yeah.
then we can go into the canyon. And
Maybe they deflect. Maybe we should just try going up to the cavern with these poultices.
Poultices with a T.
Poultices.
Something doesn't sit right with me, though, and I put my poultice on. Something's just not right.
Me too.
I figured that maybe the cavern was some sort of burial ground that they didn't want to enter, but even the Shoshone didn't want it. And then the Shoshone, I'm pretty confident that they're not the ones behind the ticks. So, who wants the cavern clear? Who wants to unearth what's behind it? Why?
Well,
I'm thinking maybe, well,
Carver, if I.
well, hold on. Let me finish my
All right.
fucking thought here.
All right.
I'm thinking that if the Shoshone are so hesitant to have that cavern, and we already see warning written on that thing 5 times, maybe we shouldn't be having Henry uncover this thing.
makes sense to me.
I mean, we're starting barreling towards sort of a dead end, you know.
We did tell him to uncover it, right?
I know. I'm saying we
Right
ride back and tell him to fix it.
Right from day one, I always said there was something fishy about the caves, the mines, and people going crazy from it. Now we've recently discovered that it's probably more to do with the ticks. But I have a feeling that there's some sort of relationship with the ticks and the evilness that comes from this mine. Do you guys not think that?
Something to do with the mine for sure, yeah. All right, I'm gonna start riding back into town.
And as we're getting on our horses, I say, so, yeah, I guess Lacy kind of raises a good point. The ticks are taking the young people. I mean, that's just kind of what I'm going on right now. The ticks are taking young people. You with me so far?
Oh yeah.
If the same person that's controlling the ticks was the same person that wanted that gate, or whatever he said it was, uncovered in the caves, then why wouldn't he just send those young people back and just keep on mining?
Might not be that simple.
Maybe not.
Well, Carver, I gotta tell you, you done good talking.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know what? I really did enjoy that interaction with you guys, so I'm going to put another legendary chip back in the pot.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's nice. Nobody got killed. We all made friends.
Yeah. And you know what?
Thanks, Carver.
You guys could have increased some fear levels and things so far, but you haven't. So, not that that's a thing. But anyways.
We did punch out the Doomsayer.
That's right. You did. That was
Yeah,
last
we
one.
did.
On your way back, you guys each need to roll a horseback riding check, please.
Oh, I hate these.
I don't, because I took horseback riding.
Me too.
Oh, a 6! Yes!
You guys, unfortunately, are going to be at a -1 for this roll because it's getting harder. You've been on, it's a longer journey now.
Ass is hurting, eh?
I'm still
Yeah.
at 7 though.
So you're successful.
I've got an
4.
8.
And I
So-
think I'm gonna try to re-roll using a white chip.
Okay. And Alex, you got an 8? An 8?
I think a 1 and a 7, right?
No, it's the 7.
Perfect. So 7.
Okay. Yep. So you're
Does that
successful.
pass? Okay.
Yeah. And Mike, buddy, unfortunately, with the -1,
You're dead.
you are successful. You're still good. So yeah, you guys all feel okay.
With the -1.
Lewis,
you're
you're still
you're okay.
sore. You're still sore, and it's uncomfortable going back, but you're not going to be any worse from
Now
here.
you say that I got -1 for being.
It should apply to this. It should apply to this.
All right. Well, then I'm at 3. So that's minus.
So-
Jake
you're-
Ortega.
You're now at -2,
First
All
failure.
and you're going to look like a little bit of a bow-legged man walking around for a bit.
Unacceptable.
I am. So as we're riding back, I want to talk to Lewis. And Lewis, that book that you got there from Father Barrows,
Yeah.
was it talking about the early days too? I remember you saying something about the what did the Shoshone call it? Not the retribution, the
Reckoning.
reckoning. Did it touch on some about that too?
A little bit. It touched on the reckoning. It talked about those abominations. It basically, from what I got from it, which I still haven't completely deciphered everything in it, there's some really strong language in there. Strong being intellectual sort of strong.
No, not like fuck and shit and cunt and things like that. Just
Yeah,
like
just
intellectual.
Whoa.
Winks, nipple, tassel.
Nipple.
All
Mittens.
those. Yeah.
So what was it trying to say?
It was talking about, he kind of mentioned it too, was the fear level. If things get too, if people start, the more fear people have, the more that this dark energy, this reckoning source can draw from that fear and then put more darkness back out into the world. That's the way I imagine it, at least. I could be wrong.
But it didn't talk about anything about the before times, did it?
The before times. As in
Well,
what
I'm trying
happened
to figure
before
out
that.
why the Shoshone said something about the ravens, and how they brought on the evil, and that it was in the stone in the deep down. And I'm trying to figure out, well, if there's a powerful artifact down in that mine, and someone's trying to say get at it or something like that, do we know what it's going to do and to what end it's going to bring?
Well, to be completely honest, when I was reading through that book, I wasn't really paying attention to the historical facts. I was paying attention to more of the weird stuff, the occultish. But maybe if I look through it again, I might find
Lewis,
something.
nothing stands out to you about that mine in particular. That's what you mean.
All right.
I guess nothing about like the factions of the old time and who was around and
You
who might have been.
can do another cult check if you want, and see if you can find
But-
something.
Yeah, I'll look at the book again when I get back to town, but nothing's coming to me right now. Sorry, Carver.
No problem whatsoever. Just getting awful anxious.
Buddy, because I know you're keeping a lookout, do a roll for a notice.
Buddy or me?
Buddy.
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 Whoop. Didn't mean to do that last 4.
It's okay. You hear a thrumming and a vibration. You notice that you feel this deep rumble. It's really soft at first, but you know it to be a creature, a desert creature that lets off this deep rumble to the point where it gets to a higher pitch the closer you get. And people can't sleep around this creature, and if you do disturb it, it will attack you guys with sonic sounds. It's a big, like, worm-like creature that comes out of the earth.
All right, gentlemen, let's just gonna have to hold. So, whoa, Judy.
You know that the path you're going should be fine. You might need to leer a little bit to the west.
What are you talking about? What's going on, buddy?
Let's just ride a little slower, and I'm gonna need you gentlemen just to hold off on the conversation a little bit. Let's keep a little quiet. Listen, keep your ears about you.
Oh, you see something?
All right.
No, listen.
Listen, do you see? Listen, do you see something? I was like me from last week.
All right. Ride slowly around.
Yeah, you do recognize the low grumbling. I'll quickly get you the name here.
Listen to that scroll wheel.
Yeah, well, funny thing, it's called a humbug.
Oh. That don't sound so
it's more like-
dangerous.
Bah.
Bah. All right, so we ride around slowly, like.
Yep. So you do, every time it gets louder, you keep moving the opposite way. And you do shirk the trail and you make it back, no problem. Back in town.
All right.
I know that was hard for you, Carver, but good job keeping your mouth shut.
That's 3, buddy. Let's just leave it there. I reckon I'm a quicker draw than you, so. And I had a long day. I want to find some ghost rock. Where would I go about finding some?
Henry O'Toole would be good, or you know that Lily has some in her shop.
Yeah, I don't want to alert the other guys, so I'm going to just ride off. I got to go speak to Lily about something I had her do. I'm thinking maybe you guys check on Elam and Halton and see where they're at.
Oh,
Well,
we gotta just speak.
I gotta go see Lily as well.
Yeah, and I kind of wink at Lacy, I guess.
And I head off to Elam.
Yeah, I'll join Buddy.
All right. So you get back to, we'll start with you, buddy. You get to Elam's. You guys all reach at the same time because you're right next
same
to
place.
each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
But buddy, we'll go with you
Oh,
first
you're
because you're
here
the only
too.
one going there. It gets really awkward as you're trying to ride away, but you guys keep going in the same direction. Are you following me? Anyways, you get to Elam's place and he's busy working. He answers the door and says, "Buddy, I reckon this is about what Halton had." No, it's not. It's probably it's late at night. We're saying about 9 o'clock. Not late, 9 o'clock. Halton came and talked to me about you guys looking for some tick for some really disturbing news. What I heard. Is that what this is about, buddy?
Yes, it is.
We'll come in.
Heard right. After you, Lewis.
Well,
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Buddy.
and as you get in there, I'm gonna have you guys do a luck roll.
All right.
Hey,
And this
that
is
sounds
whether-
exciting. What do we do for that?
Let's see here.
Just a wild card?
Yeah, let's just do
64.
one wild card each. As long as one of you guys is successful, then Halton did find a tick. Otherwise, he's still looking.
I'm going to use a white chip to re-roll.
I believe I am too.
Hey! All right.
And I am not. I won't because I said I would.
It's like trying to jump into the lake. Yeah.
9.
And there's Halton in the space, and he's examining a little vial with a little, a tick inside.
Oh,
Well, we've been working on this for some time, and it's very, very peculiar, but as soon as I got a blood sample and I started looking into what the chemical properties are of this thing, I realized there's a connection that this creature has one of the chemicals, a very, very rare chemical that was asked for not a few days ago.
Someone asked you for it. Like,
That's
an
right.
order.
And I
You
couldn't
asked
provide
it,
it.
Elam.
Well, it was, and he looks a little upset, and it was Ezra.
Who's Ezra again?
Who's asking?
Just at meta. I totally
Yeah.
forget.
He's the kid.
He's the kid, yeah.
Oh, that
Oh.
kid that I fucking knew was evil. Shit.
No, he's the kid that was with the with.
He
the
was with
chaplain.
everyone. Remember?
He was with the priest. He was with the bartender.
Yeah, he's the
So
bad guy.
you got the tick from Ezra?
No. You're not even there.
I'm not there.
Oh,
No,
no,
we're not. I just want to know.
Ezra?
To
Meta
clarify,
who is.
Ezra had come to Elam looking for this chemical compound that Elam could not provide for him because it was a rare substance.
And I'm also going to hand
But
you
it's
this.
found inside this creature. Oh, that smells terrible. Why do I
It's got a
want
little
that?
coyote piss in there, but I want to see if you can
I can tell it does.
take a look and see what else is in there.
As soon as it gets close to the vial, you see the tick trying to like scrape its way, and you hear it ramming, trying to get out of the vial away from it. But eventually, it calms down a little bit. He looks inside and goes, "This is beyond my ability, buddy."
Well, that's too bad.
He goes, and I would never deal with coyote piss. It's vile stuff.
So why did Ezra say that he was ordering this rare substance? Well, didn't that flag a question in your mind?
Ezra's been in my workshop for some time, and he's a very curious boy. I know he has an interest in apothecary work, and he even has interest over. He's a very smart young man, and I appreciate his help around here. And guidance, I try to teach him what I can. You know, he doesn't have anybody, Lewis, and him asking questions was not out of the ordinary.
Yeah, well, I think it's time you stop guiding him so much.
I hope you're wrong, buddy. I do care about Ezra.
I can understand that. He's a likable kid, but I think he needs a break from that learning from now on.
If you see Ezra anywhere, you let us know.
Well, that's the thing. I haven't seen him in some time. As Holton had said, he didn't come with his shipment, and now he hasn't been over, and he's usually here daily, whether it's helping Lily or helping myself.
Do any of you guys know where he might have gone? Someplace he talked about? Where did he even live?
Well, he lived with Father Barrow on church property. I reckon we should probably go take a look to make sure he's okay.
I reckon you're correct.
Maybe it's best you guys go. I don't want to see nothing that would upset me.
It might not be anything, you know. It might not be anything. Buddy, do you have any more questions?
No. Anything else you can help with us here, Elam?
Perhaps you guys can help me with something. I got Stenson here, and he's taking up my back room, and I can't feed him for too long. Would it be too much to ask for you gentlemen to take him away?
And I pull out my gun. No problem. I'll end it right now.
No, buddy. Then he's just gonna have a mess to clean up.
Bang!
We'll take him away.
Okay, Carver and Lacy, you guys get to Lily's.
We're elbowing each other. No, I'm first. No, I'm
What
first.
do you?
No, I'm first.
Lacey, what do you
I'm
want?
first.
What do you want with her? What do you want? Go.
Lily, I want to know if you have the abilities to make me some sort
You're
of
outside
gun.
the door. You're not inside yet. You haven't knocked on the door.
Oh.
I'm preparing to talk.
She answers the door and says, Carver, Lacy, what can I do for you now?
He's gonna go first.
Busy woman.
I get it. Go, Lacey. Tell her what you got.
Thank you, Carver. Lily. Hi.
Lacy, you better be spitting it out quicker than a mule on a chud. Chud? Yeah.
Well said, Lily.
Cut.
I want to know, can you make me some sort of gun that shoots fire? There it is. Boom.
What the fuck
what?
is wrong with you?
Let's
you
do a
make
luck.
me a gun?
Lacy, let's do a luck roll for you as well.
A luck roll?
Yeah. So we're gonna do the same thing, a 1d6 to see if.
Do we have luck? Oh.
Yeah, but I'm only gonna allow you to use one Benny with it. So you can only use
using a
one
Benny.
reroll.
I'm using a Benny. One white. 6.
Oh, wow.
Explosion. So a 6 and a 3.
Jesus.
Well, I reckon I can use some ghost rock steel, and I could fashion something. It takes some time, though, Lacy.
Now
I'm busy.
there's the spirit. I like it, Lily. And I
Yeah,
snap my suspenders like that.
You get the impression that she's gonna need to do some research and stuff. It's gonna be some time to get this kind of thing, and a lot of money too.
I'll give you. How much I got on me? I'll give you a good amount. Don't worry. I got lots of money.
And I turn to Lacey and I say, good, you got that out of your system? Lily, you know what he wants now? And I take a step in next to Lily and I say, perfect, and I shut the door on Lacey behind me.
What? No.
And I lock it. Lacey,
Carver, I'm a married woman.
That's not about that, but although, take me up on that a little bit later. We'll have a conversation.
You know
Listen,
I work with hot metal.
I know, and I walk over to the desk. I need another favor. I need a piece of ghost rock.
It's dangerous stuff, Carver.
I know, but I got a feeling that something awfully unsafe is being earthed up in the mine, and I think I have to perform a little bit of a cave-in.
Unfortunately, Carver, I don't have very much ghost rock left.
I know, and I know I owe you for last time.
No, I can give you ghost rock, or I can work on the device that Lacy talked about. I can't do both. The mine is barely working as it is.
Don't you dare take over my...
No, I know. Lily, come on. Between me and Carver, me and Lacy, who are you going to side with? You want to build a flamethrower, or you want to help maybe save the town?
Carver, I go where the money is.
All right, look, I don't want to do this, but I got 2 of them.
And I'm standing outside the door, and I'm got my ear against the door.
He can't hear shit.
I got money. I got money.
Lily, I will trade you Bluebell. I will give you Bluebell. You know she's a good gun. She's been with me a long time, but I got Charles. I know he's going to need it for a while, so I will give you Bluebell. That's more worth than a piece of Ghost Rock. You know that.
Carver, you do know that Charles' gun isn't as good.
I don't know. It's got a bit of weight to it. It's not as long as barrel, but I can make anything fly.
I'm going to say it's not as good if you're going to make that sacrifice. It actually has to. It has to be a sacrifice. I'm going to say -1 damage, whatever it was doing. Bluebell was doing.
Well, then you want Charles' gun?
She goes, I can't take Charles's gun.
Trade you Charles' gun. He's gone, Lily. I'm telling you.
What do you mean Charles is gone?
Charles is gone. Look, I can't explain it to you, but you got to understand that right now what's going on in town is beyond just what we can comprehend. There's people walking up that should long since be dead. The sheriff's gone missing. People are... Lily, fear is a really important thing in this town. We got to keep it real light. So I gotta ask if you go on faith with me. Charles is a
Carver,
good guy.
you know what I'm afraid of, Carver? An empty wallet.
Yeah,
so
I hear you.
I will take Bluebell, but I promise you I'm going to sell that thing for everything it's worth. Now you want this Ghost Rock over what Lacy, and he's a little bit of a hothead. You know, he's crazier than a bag of hammers.
I hear you.
I am going to shoot through this fucking door at you.
I'm not saying I can hear you.
All right. Well, I need the Ghost Rock, but Bluebell at my side is more important right now. Should we get into trouble? There's always Henry. I'll see if he can part with some Ghost Rock.
Yeah,
I appreciate
it's possible.
you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
She gets to work right away on what you imagine to be Lacy's device.
Yeah. And I leave, and I push past Lacy as I do. You fucking and your stupid fucking flamethrower.
You guys, as soon as you're leaving the door in the commotion, Elam and Holton and everyone comes outside to meet you guys.
Well. Carver, you're one mean son of a bitch.
Better yet, actually, Buddy and Lewis, you guys kind of got ushered out as Elam got to work, and you have Stenson in his irons, and Holton's there with you.
All right, so we got to take care of this guy here.
What? Oh, God damn it.
Well, Elam can't look after him forever.
I know, but do we really need to do a hang-in right now?
Well, I was thinking we just leave him at the sheriff's office.
Well,
The way we've been going, he might be there for days and just starve to death, so we might as well just hang him. Or let him free. Why don't we make him...
Or guys,
useful?
you could just let me go. I probably will never do anything like this again.
Shut up, you!
yeah, I'm
Why
with
don't
Lacy
we
on
make
this
him-
one, Stan.
Why don't we make him useful to us? I say,
Yeah, make me useful. I'm really handy. I can tell Carver. You didn't even kill me, and so I can.
Now,
I
this
can
is where
tough.
Buddy
I'm very
Jackson's
tough.
going to punch him in the head.
Whack.
Well, that was really good. Your movement there, Chris.
No one's going to trust a horse thief, Stanton.
You know what? We
I ain't a
might
horse
be able to...
thief. I was blackmailed. I had to.
I turned to the guys, kind of with Stanton in my back. Sorry, buddy. And I say, we could always use him to test out, possible, tick bite remedies.
We're not using people as fucking test subjects, Lacy.
Well, if we're gonna kill him, we might as well take.
No, that ain't the same. He's hanging because he stole a horse. He's not hanging. He doesn't need to die. Therefore, he should die any way possible. This is the law.
Did we already know that he was blackmailed?
That's what he said. He said the guardian angels did something or other.
Yeah.
I think the best example he can be is what happens to horse thieves around here.
Yeah, but look, buddy, a hanging is designed to show the people in town that we're not dealing with this shit. Who the fuck's gonna see a hanging? The town's half empty. People aren't coming outside their doors.
And that's why I'm saying we use him to our benefit.
I don't know if a hanging's a good idea at this point, if all that stuff about fear is true.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And we're not, Lacy, we're not going to use him as a cadaver. We're not going to inject a guy with poison and make a tick feast on his skin just because we want to see what happens.
What do you suggest, Carver? Let him starve to death?
We might find a use for him yet, but he doesn't have to go right now. We can lock him up with the sheriff just like we did.
Shoot him dead and bury him in the fucking desert.
We don't even have a place to lock him up. There's a big hole in the back of the...
We're not murderers, Lacy. We're got logic to our... We're doing what the law says. That's it. We didn't make it.
We don't have to make the decision right now. That's all I'm saying. I'm tired. And I'm walking like I've been riding on a horse for days, and it's only been a few hours.
Well, we can't exactly let him free now, can we? We gotta lock him somewhere.
Well, I'm gonna put him in where we put the sheriff, and I take him to where the sheriff was.
There's a big fucking hole in the door.
Yeah, no shit. And I open inside the gate, and I handcuff him around one of the poles. Like,
man can't sit down.
No, he can sit down. He can slide down and sit with his hands cuffed around the pole behind the back.
Yeah, it'll work. He's cuffed to
How's he gonna get out?
to the wall, basically.
Fine.
You guys think about it a little bit, eh? I'm really sorry. I really will never steal a horse again. I didn't even want to do it in the first place.
Stan, you're not. And I turn to Lacy. All right, you know what? And I crouch down in front of Stan. I'm gonna give you the choice. You can hang and
I'll
die.
take the other one.
Well, let me give you the other one. There's a few ticks running around. You let yourself be bit by one, under supervision of us, of course. We see what happens to you. And under your own choice, now this is your choice, and we'll let the hanging go.
And now think about this, Stan. A little bit of tick bite.
Don't persuade him one way. Hey, Lacy, we're not...
Just a little bit of tick bite.
Stan, your choice.
Well, I'm awfully afraid of hemp. Of course I'm going to take the tick bite. I've been bitten by a tick all my life. That's for sure. Carver? Thanks, Carver.
And I turn to
you
Buddy.
guys had good hearts.
I turn to Buddy and Lewis. What do you guys think about this? If he's willing to do it.
Well, let's get him right and get him to sign it.
Lacy, we know where you're at. Buddy.
Well,
Why does
the
Carver
law
have such a
says we
hate
should
on
be
for me?
hanging them. We should be hanging them. But I guess on the other hand, we're the law now. And if we can make use of the no-good horse thief, why wouldn't we put him to use for the benefit of the others? And then we can hang him.
Yeah. Being bit by the tick means we can guarantee that that's the same thing that happened to the sheriff, then that's a big help to us.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's no sense in moving him since he's handcuffed right now. Lacy, go yonder and fetch that tick from Elam.
You don't think we could do this in the morning? I'm friggin' wiped.
Well, I don't know how long these ticks take, and might be till morning that... Well, when we met the sheriff, he was perfectly fine, so it could be a time thing anyway.
Well, I'm down. I'll run and grab it.
Lacy comes back with a tick in the vial.
And you ready for this, Stanton?
Well, yeah, so that's it. The tick bites me. Wait a sec, is that the tick that I heard Elam was working on inside his...
It's just a tick.
Well, it looks like it.
Kick it.
Yeah, I reckon anything's better than a short drop and a sudden stop.
And I carefully pull off the cap and...
Hold on, and I do walk over to Stanton. I do say, hold on, it is the tick. You do know what you're doing here.
Well, I know it was a normal tick, but how bad can it be? It can't mean death. I mean, it's a tick.
We can't guarantee anything, but this ain't a walk in the park. Are you sure you want to do this?
I want to live, Carver.
I wouldn't guarantee that that's this alternate.
I'm pretty sure it's a guarantee that the other one will kill me.
All right. And I stand up and I back away. All right, Lacey.
I open up the...
Before we do this, I imagine I should at least have my last words. If it is going to kill me, is it a possibility I could die on the spot here?
Well, what do you got to say, Stanton? You want to tell us who blackmailed you? Is that what you want to do?
No. I just want you to, if you ever see Cooligan, tell him thanks for looking out for me. I know I gave my head right and I made some really bad decisions, but he always looked out for me.
Let me ask you again, Stanton. Did you want to tell us who blackmailed you?
I mean, I didn't have a choice. I had to it was either get the horses or they'd get me eventually. So,
and I pull off the cap, and I don't wait any longer, and I press the opening against his skin, and tap the bottom so that the tick falls down towards his skin, and just sit there carefully holding it so it doesn't escape.
It doesn't bite him. It seems to be moving around inside the vial, but it's not doing anything.
We got our poultices on. You think that's affecting it?
No, but it might help it. And I take my poultice and I hold it to the back of the jar.
No, I'm thinking it's probably going to affect... Oh, I see.
As soon as the poultice is near the back of the jar, you see the thing start to squirm, and it starts to burrow into the skin, digging its way in, and stands in screaming, "Ah! Get it off me!" And then it burrows in and gets out from the other side of the jar and comes up through his skin again, and it starts crawling towards his neck. He goes, "That ain't no tick! That ain't no tick!" And he grabs his bottom lip, pulls it down, jumps into his mouth, and disappears. What'd you guys do? That's not a tick.
What'd you think it was?
I don't know.
Oh
a
my
tick
God,
bites.
Stanton, stop your belly aching. You made your choice.
Yeah, that's nothing strange. And I turn around and I look at the guys and that was fucking strange. That was really fucking strange. I've never seen anything like that in my fucking life. That's really fucking strange.
Yeah, it's all right. Chill. Stanton, how you feeling?
How do you think I'm feeling, Carver? Get that thing out of me. Help me puke. And he's trying
That's
to get
not how this works, Stanton. You took this as an option. You knew this wasn't a walk in the park.
And with a strange face, I say to Stan, "Wait, you never been bit by a tick before?"
Not like that, ain't.
That's a tick bite for you.
His arm is bleeding where it burrowed in and out of his skin.
Profusely?
Well, I mean, it's a pretty fleshy wound, yeah.
And I grab my what's it called, a poultice?
He's not going to die from it.
And I start rubbing it
that wound
on my neck. And I
the coyote urine?
Rubbing it around, just kind of like spreading the smell.
I'm thinking that it's the mouths that they go into.
I'm thinking I'm going to bed. I'll see you gentlemen in the morning.
Yeah, all right.
Sleep with your mouth closed.
Jesus Christ.
That ain't a bad idea, to be honest, Lewis.
Now, you guys did learn something from this. I don't know if you caught it.
Yeah. It didn't matter what about the bite. It had to go into his mouth. It's a parasite of some sort.
Well, the bite, I mean, the wound doesn't look like a bite.
It chewed right through his arm.
That's right. It kind of ripped him open with these clawy appendages at the front of him. Now, are you guys all going to bed?
No.
I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep. I'm going to lie in the mud like I normally do.
I'm going to have to go
away from those ticks in the mud.
Ticks don't live in the mud.
No, they live on tall grass, I guess.
I got to go to sleep, guys. My legs are killing me. I think I might have opened my leg, too. I don't know. There might be a rash or a blister or something. I got to check it out.
Bob posted this. This is pretty much what I'm thinking it might look like.
Oh. Thanks, Bob.
Nice.
No way that's real.
No, it's like a horror movie or something.
Yeah, that's a real tick.
Yeah.
No, that's what they actually look like.
Well, maybe there's like some weird Amazon tick that we don't know about.
Could be. From
I don't know.
Amazon tick movie.
No, yeah, you order it on Amazon.
I'll take first watch, buddy. Or I mean, Lacey. And first watch, I'm gonna talk to Stanton. What you feeling like, Stan?
After an hour, he starts looking a little yellow.
Yeah.
And you can tell he's not doing very well. And he's sweating a little bit.
How you feeling?
I feel terrible, Carver. Can you bring Elam over? I'm sure he can help me out.
That ain't the way we're trying to make you feel any better, buddy.
Well, can you? Okay, I don't feel so hot. And he's lying down a little bit.
The reason we asked you was because we wanted to make sure that whatever happened to the sheriff might be happening to people who gets the tick swallowed on. Do his wounds look like any other wounds we've seen?
No, not at all.
So none of the bug bites are reminiscent of.
Mm-mm.
So it's obviously not
like
the bee roaches or anything.
No, it doesn't look like the bee roach. It doesn't look like the ones from the syringes or anything like that.
Which is fine, because it looks like they go down the mouth anyway, so this is a whole new thing.
An hour passes by again.
Yeah.
And he's looking different. He's looking more stone-faced. But he seems to be jabbering about, and the only thing he can... Let's see, actually. Hold on a second. Yeah, he seems to be... Gibberish is coming out, but he's talking about hanging, and he's almost asking for it.
How you feeling, Stanton?
I should have taken the rope. Bring me the rope.
Not yet, not yet. And I walk over to Lewis. You're sleeping, yeah?
Yeah, I'm asleep.
So I walk over to Lacey and I kick his boots awake.
I'm not sleeping.
Okay, I walk over to Lacey.
I can't sleep after that. I'm lying.
All right, Lacey. Here's where we're at.
Where's Lacey?
He's lying in the mud near everybody.
Okay.
It's near the.
I'm keeping an eye on him.
Yep.
But I want to be where Lacey is. Here's my thinking. When Sheriff started turning, he kind of got a bit loopy. He got wacky. We chained him up and so on and so forth. And then he started screaming about a whole measure of things. Now, at the time, we weren't paying much attention because it just seemed like a bunch of nonsense. But I think maybe it meant a little more than we let on. So what I want to do is I want to watch him until he starts gibbering. And then I want to pour hot castor oil down his gullet. See if we can't kill that
You're thinking what
tick.
I'm thinking, my friend.
Well, we want to kill that tick, and then I want to see how much he remembers. But before we do kill that tick, I want to be monitoring him for anything he might say that we're going to pick up on. Because I think whatever's left, I think he's going to be helping us.
You know what else, Carver? I suddenly had this realization. Now, when the sheriff was here, locked up, and he was crazy, obviously infected by one of these ticks, we can assume, Charles, or again, we can only assume, came and took him. Now, I have a feeling that we better be on the lookout for somebody coming to take Stanton here. Because it seems like, once somebody's infected, they come and collect them. That's where everybody's been going.
Well, and see, part of the reason I think they know that is because when I saw those ticks coming down the cavern, or the canyon, they weren't acting independently. They were acting like a wave. Like they were connected in some way. And I know it sounds stupid, but I think maybe that these creatures have some sort of way that they can speak to each other, make some sort of connections. So I agree with you. And on that note, why don't you, and I kind of motion to the far side of town between some buildings, I say, why don't you hold up over there in the dark? Just give us another advantage. I'll stay by him, and when time comes and I get tired, we'll switch, because I think if someone does approach, you having a drop on them from behind might be good.
That's a good idea, actually. Do we know where... Okay, so when we can assume Charles is the one that came and got the sheriff. Charles. Do we have any idea of what direction he came in?
We saw the footprints, but I don't think we...
Because I know you guys can just go back and watch it anyways. You know that from the back where the opening is, it walked north towards the railroad tracks, and then from the railroad tracks it went along the length of the village and then into Father Barrow's sanctuary.
And that's how he came into the town.
Well, sorry, you don't know where they came from prior to that. No. You see the footprints leaving the holding cell, but you don't see them coming towards it.
All right. So you know what I'm gonna do? I am going to get on top of a building with a good vantage point of the cell of the where Stanton is actually handcuffed, and get a good vantage point down so that I can see kind of all directions if someone were to come into the area.
Lacey, that's the smartest thing I've heard you say in a week.
Well, I
agree.
take that kind of as offensive, Carver, although it's very nice of you to say. It's kind of offensive.
It's a compusult.
Because I've been saying
compliment and
things
insult
all week.
So you're going to try to climb up onto the sheriff's building and
Pretty
survey
much.
For what?
Survey for anybody who may be approaching to take the infected Stanton. Because
I see. Okay, yeah. Keep a lookout. Okay,
or
good.
lead them away.
All right. So can you do a athletics roll or strength would be fine. Strength or agility, depending on how you want to climb up there.
And then I'm going to go back and just talk to Stanton some more.
Let's do agility because it's a 10. 5 and 3.
So you do manage to get up on there.
All right.
Carver, as soon as you get back over there, something has changed. He's now standing up, and he's looking kind of stone-faced.
Hmm.
And his arms are tied. He's standing up, and his arms are down. And he's got a little bit of sweat on him still, but he's completely deadpan face, and his eyes are kind of glazing over a little bit.
And I walk to him still
and then he
far
screams, rope. He's just screaming rope, and then he stops again.
And I say, Stan, you're changing a lot faster than the sheriff did. What's going on there, buddy? You still hearing me?
Deadpan, nothing.
All right. Well, you let me know when you're ready to talk, and I sit back down.
Lacey, you see very little action going on. There's no one approaching, at least you can see in the darkness. Carver, as the night wanes on.
Every 20 minutes, I just talk to him to see if he'll respond, and
you notice that he starts pulling on his chains, and he's not responding at all. No, nothing. Dead-faced. And he's pulling on his chains, and it's starting to become more and more vigorous, and his wrists start to bleed.
A lot wilder than the sheriff was.
And I see this kind of going on, and I holler down at Carver. Maybe tie him up tighter. He looks like he's moving.
Yeah, I'm not doing it alone down here. I'll wait until the morning until these guys are gone. Chains are going to hold.
You start hearing, you think Carver, he's going to start hurting himself pretty bad if he keeps pulling this way, breaking his bones. Eventually,
really?
He seems like an animal stuck in a trap, and you think that he could do enough to pull himself out eventually. Watching his motion, it's getting pretty vigorous, and you can see the blood is starting to lubricate, and flesh is starting to come off and rub down.
Shit, kid. All right. And I shoot both of his legs.
Right in the kneecap?
Right in the kneecaps.
I am looking at...
I need you to roll damage for those, Carver.
All right.
I've totally had a tick on me before. Fuck.
You had a tick on you?
I didn't realize what it was at the time. It's like, that is a strange fucking...
So
spider.
1 and 3.
He's not reacting to the bullets.
No, he has to be crumbled at least.
Well, was in the cat? Where do you hit him in the knees?
Yeah, in the knees.
So he hits the ground.
Yeah.
But he's still pulling.
Well, he can pull all he wants. It's not going anywhere. He can break his arms.
Yeah, he's going to. You get that impression.
Yeah. Now, what else am I going to do?
How long are you going to watch him, Carver?
Watch him until I'm too tired to keep my eyes open, I guess.
It doesn't take long. His wrists are broken and gnawed away. The flesh is peeling away from his hands as he pulls one arm out. And he starts trying to pull the other one you can see bone on his hands and wrist. And he's pulling and he's bleeding through his legs and he's trying to get away.
Oh my god, this sounds like the Evil Dead or something.
Yeah, but now I'm thinking maybe if he wasn't talking, maybe we should have let him go and follow him. But it's a
You
bit too
notice that the sun is starting to come up,
Hmm.
and you reckon that people are going to be starting to wake up soon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. Ah, well, that's fine. They're not going to come around here. Unless we tell them to. All right. I'll call to Lacy. Lacy,
Yes.
go fetch Lewis and Buddy.
Are they not?
They've been sleeping.
There?
No, were they? They were in the sheriff's house, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So is there any way into the building through the roof?
No, you're like on another building, probably.
No, he's
on
inside
top of the
the. No, there isn't a way in through the roof. There's no.
And I
sign
tell
up there.
and I tell Lacy and bring some hot oil.
All right.
See what we
You know
can
what? So, I'm just looking at ticks. That's nasty. Ugh. I jump down from the building. I go into the sheriff's office, and I stomp on the floor. I say, "Lewis, buddy, wake up! We got a fighter on our hands." And then I immediately go into the kitchen and I find the castor oil. I guess.
Yep.
All right. And I throw a pot onto the stove, and I fill up the pot.
And actually,
castor oil.
while he's sitting there, while he's doing
turn
the
it
pot,
on.
and I'm back at the thing, I'm gonna take off my poultice, and I'm gonna hold it to his belly.
He seems to be flinching a little bit.
And I'm gonna drag it up his esophagus.
It doesn't seem to react.
Interesting.
He flinches but doesn't react.
So I walk down to the. Eventually, you hear me.
No, sorry, he flinched originally, but as he pulls up, no change. Is what I mean, Lacy.
Oh, can I like keep moving it around his stomach to see if he?
Again, when it says stomach, he seems to be uncomfortable as he can be without changing his facial expression. Still pull him maybe a little bit more vigorously away from it.
So like, can I keep like a scanner? Can I keep moving it over his?
Yeah, it seems to be in his stomach.
So stomach is the strongest point.
Yeah.
Okay. Other than that,
You do notice a little, looking closely, you see a little bit like bluish veins starting to make themselves clear on his neck.
Okay.
But you do reckon that it's in his stomach.
Okay. All right.
So I wake these fellas up.
So
Lacy, I should say before you got off the roof, you did notice a lantern approaching from the, when you guys were going to help that lady earlier, there was a few other farming areas, and you noticed a lantern approaching from that area.
Yeah.
Okay, because that was kind of what I was looking out for. I was gonna say, if I saw anybody else coming, I would kind of holler at them. If it was like a friendly, I would holler at them and say, "Please don't come near the sheriff's office. We've got a situation. It's under control, but we can't have any bystanders."
And you can hear a woman's voice yell back. It says, I need your help.
Oh shit. So then when I go inside and put the oil on,
You
bang
do
the
wake
door
up
and I
Buddy
wake up.
and Lewis, yeah.
And I say, "Deputies, we got a lady out front that needs your help."
I don't know what help I'm gonna be today. And I gesture
all
down
tired?
at my inner legs, which I wasn't wearing breeches when we went out on the horses. And my legs, are just raw and blistered and cut open with
To the
stuff.
point, Lewis, you can't even, you try to stand, and you're just instantly in a lot of pain. You didn't realize how bad it was.
Damn it, Lewis.
I think I gotta stay here and make sure it don't get infected.
You just lie down, Lewis. We'll figure it out. I'll see if I can get Elam over here to take a look.
Thank you.
Let's
buddy.
go find that lady, Lacy.
Buddy, you hear her calling, and you find her in the twilight, not twilight, early morning hours,
dusk.
dawn hours.
Oh, Twilight. Yeah, that's right.
And she says, "You guys are the deputies now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I don't know if it was coyotes or wolves or what it was, but I came into my barn yesterday, and I found one of my animals was ripped apart. The hindquarters were dragged away. There's a blood trail at the door.
Oh, Jesus. And I say, them damn coyotes getting to the sheep again. We're getting lots of...
Well,
lots
you
of-
better get a hunting posse out there and start killing these animals, or I'm
Don't
going to lose all
worry,
my...
man. You know, you just lock your
Go
doors.
take a look first.
Buddy, maybe I can leave that with you, and you can go take a look.
Well, also, what's that noise? I hear some banging back there. And
It's nothing.
She can hear the chains pulling on the...
Am I here?
Thud.
Am I
Thud.
like close?
You're still with it. You know, I think you're with the
We've
prisoner.
got a situation with one coyote, and we just got it. We've got him tied up, and we can't let anybody back there. Thank you very much, ma'am.
She's convinced by you and walks on.
Well, she's gonna show me where her barn or whatever, right?
She tells you where
Yeah,
it is, so you'll be
buddy.
able to find it, no
Okay.
problem.
She's gonna show you to the barn.
Nice. Little rump in the hay.
So long
She's under
story
your lead,
short,
buddy.
before anything else, I jump back inside, and by now the pot of oil's boiling.
Okay.
Okay, and I grab the pot very carefully, and I'm handling it carefully all the way out the door, down the stairs. Make my turn, going over to the stance, and he's all fucked up. And
it's grotesque,
City
so you need to do a grit roll.
oh,
No.
lucky for me.
Yeah.
I'm
Carver's
very-
watched it, so he's kind of become
Desensitized slowly.
desensitized as it happens.
And I'm gonna reach around to the outside and grab him up against the bars
Mm-hmm.
and like hold his head like this.
Grit. I have +1 to grit.
Right.
What does that mean?
I think you add it to your spirit roll. So roll a spirit roll.
All right. So a 6 plus my spirit, right?
Right.
So a +1 to a 10.
Nice. You're fine.
Yeah, you're fine. You've killed people in grosser ways.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Um,
I hold his head as you come
maybe
to the
you sit
jail
on
cell
his-
door.
And I say, Carver, sit on his body and hold him still. So
No,
he
I'm
doesn't
holding him from
shift
the other
around.
side of the thing. I got his head right here, like I'm holding him
All
against
right.
the bars. Just be
And-
careful where
Yeah.
you're pouring the oil, and just pour a little bit at a time.
I will. And, you know, I carefully pour the oil straight down his throat. All of it. You know,
And he hits the
full
floor,
gallon.
and he starts convulsing. And you see this huge claw-like, almost the size of a crab, claw out and start scurrying across the floor away from you
And
guys.
the minute it comes out with the butt of my gun, I smash it against the ground.
All right,
Yeah,
so do
I've got
just
my
a strength
gun
check
drawn.
for that.
Okay.
In case he misses it, I got my
Strength
gun.
or agility?
Well,
So I figured it'd be very quick.
You
it's
should
a
probably do
fighting.
one of
And
each.
it's actually fighting, to tell you the truth.
Perfect.
So do you have
works.
fighting?
It's a 1d10. Bam. Nice. Blew up. And so 10.
Okay, so with a raise.
Yeah.
Yeah, you crush it.
Does it look any different than when we swallowed it?
Seems bigger, eh?
Oh yeah, it looks much bigger. It's
Oh,
grown
shit.
for sure. It's like the size of a small crab now.
All right.
It feels
Jesus.
tough.
And I take out
Um,
my bandana and I immediately go to wrap his legs.
And you hear him breathing, really hyperventilating,
All right. Hold
And
on.
and he stops. He stops breathing.
Already?
Stops breathing.
Oh yeah.
Shit. Well, I can do something for that. yeah.
Immediately, I start doing CPR, and I tell Carver, "Put his legs up. Put his legs up."
You
Perhaps
guys,
the CPR.
Lacy and Carver, you think, based on the amount of flesh and gore from his legs and from his arms and the blood loss, that he's just bled out, and he would have been dead hours ago if it was a normal man.
Interesting. So that means the creature kept him alive. All right. Well, I grab a quick spool of rope and I tie a noose and I put it around his neck.
And I say, Carver, nobody's gonna believe this man died from a fucking hanging. He's got his arms and knees all gashed up, and he's certainly bled out before he got hung.
Lacey, you ever hung a man before? You ever hung a runner
Yes.
before?
Yes.
You ever seen a man run into the gallows, try to run away, and you put one through his leg so he doesn't run, and then you hang him anyway at a principal.
Oh, look at his
that's what happens.
arms. Look at his arms.
Lacey,
Carver.
what are you, the fucking police?
Nobody's
Shut up and
gonna-
help me.
I am the police, and nobody's going to notice this man gone. He's been gone for a week, tucked in the back of Elam's place. Let's just bury the fucker and get over with it.
I'm just saying, while we carry the thing over, I want some marks, and I pull the thing really hard, trying to cut his throat up as hard as I can. And then after a few good long tugs, I let it go.
His head pops off.
His head pops off.
No. Okay, so we,
And we take him to where we can, and we bury that son of a bitch in the middle of the desert.
And we're
Still
going to end it
twilight.
there. Let's end it
We're
there.
going to end it there.
Oh.
And I walk into Lewis's room and I say, Lewis, buddy, you doing all right?
Carver. Look at this. Open flesh. Open flesh.
Holy shit. And I back out of the room, I say, I love you, buddy. You take care of yourself. I throw him a deck of cards, and I shut the door and I lock it. I'll check on you in a few weeks. I'll check on you tomorrow.
Hold me.
All right. Thank you so much for being with us here on this Wednesday night. This has been Deadlands Part 1, Game 1, Part 6. We have had such a blast. Thank you guys for being with us here tonight. It is getting icky, sticky, and gross. I am so excited to find out what happens next week. Thank you guys for being here. Remember, the NPC post is going to be tomorrow, so give us your best ideas for your best NPCs. And other than that, I don't think there's anything else major, is there?
Well, again, don't forget you get XP just for joining us. Get on the Facebook group.
Damn
us.
right.
Group.
Giving comments in the Facebook section gets you XP.
It's true. Being really, really cool gets you XP, and all you guys in the group are really, really cool. So, you get some. Have a great night, guys. As I hope you had a blast. Thank you so much to Chris for running this game. Thank you to the players, and thank you to you guys. That's it for me. As Chris always likes to say,
We'll see you around the table.
we'll see you around the table, guys. Good night.
Good night.
Justin, turn off the stream.
How did you